What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at
A bunch of the hands that we played this weekend, starting with Larry.
Yeah. Good morning. So I've got just two hands. I didn't play a lot this weekend. I played a bit. Um, this is an interesting hand multi-way, and this comes down to value threshold on river. We're in hijack 10-9 suited. This is a open. Does well multi-way, which is often going to happen live in this game. We open a 10. Two callers in the blinds, playing a position like this. So I don't particularly like this flop.
Don't hate it.
No. True. So we got a gutter and a backdoor flush draw. So this in theory just totally hits big blind range, and we're gonna actually check this pure. I think if we look at this in solver, I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but in reality, but I choose to check this. I think a check raise here is very unpleasant because
No, you can't check raise.
we've got some say it again. Because we've got some equity here. So I choose to check this. What do you guys think? Better check.
Makes
I would
total
check.
sense. I want to see what Prometheus does with it. Um, but I think it's a very sensible check because boy, a check raise would suck there.
Yeah,
Well,
check raise would suck.
stabbing into two people is not ideal either. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we really
Get
like being in
called in places,
position.
you're still fine. You're still fine if they call. As long as they don't raise, you're fine.
Yeah, I mean
yeah,
check raises are much more rare online, but I mean
Yeah.
live, but yeah, I decided to check here. All
I
right,
like
now
it.
this got more interesting. This hand. Quarter straight. We're trying to a middling flush. And small blind now bets out half. Fun player calls. I don't think we fold to the size multi-way. Obviously, in theory, our burden of defense now is less multi-way, but I don't think this hand folds.
No way.
Doesn't fold. I don't think I would raise either though.
Yep.
Raising into four to a straight where big blind is going to have a lot of straights.
No. But the 8 is such a great card for you.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I think there's a lot of implied odds here. We're drawing to the nuts, and then we're also drawing to um a flush and OK flush.
Right. And when you get the straight, the board is a straight. So you may get some calls from nothing.
Yeah, yeah, it looks really, really good.
Yeah.
So this is where it gets interesting. I call, and
A pretty terrible card, huh?
so this is kind of an interesting card.
So what's big blind's range and what's small blind's range?
They both have a straight.
They both have a straight.
Well, yeah.
But that's what I mean. That's all that matters about their range. They both have a straight. Sometimes one of them also has a 9, which is great.
Well, I'm saying they're gonna raise off one of them's I would be more likely to think small blind has some sort of straight and big blind's gonna be more likely without raising the turn, more likely to be on some sort of draw in that situation. Not saying I don't want to put them on very specific things, but just saying like you can run into some bigger flushes here for sure, obviously.
You can,
Square
but they're,
flushes. Um,
but let's see what
go
they're.
ahead. Sorry.
Let's see what happens.
So 80% of a straight flush leaves us with a middling flush here. 120 in the middle. The small blind checks. This guy bets 100. Now this is really the question. He bets 100. I don't remember his precise number. He's got like maybe 40 bucks left behind or something. But more than this, actually. Um, this is our real decision point in this hand. We have this guy checked, who's yet to act, who covers us in small blind. This guy's all in. And the question is this hand good enough to raise here?
Big stuff.
That's really, to me, the question.
I don't think you get, there's a good reason to raise here.
Yeah,
You
I don't
raise
think
here,
so.
you make it easy for the first guy to fold, and all you make is $12 more from the second guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. It depends how much is behind. Like you said, it's only like 40 behind.
Yeah, so like big blind, this number's a little bit wrong. He had about 40 behind.
Oh, okay.
I still
If
kind of
we
agree with you then,
raise
Scotty.
also, and if we raise here, I think if we raise here, there's a lot of situations where small, so I think our only raise here is really actually shove, given the
so here's a
size.
question. You're
Sure.
gonna if you're beat by the small blind, he's gonna shove anyway, right? So are you trying to get this and
Yeah,
40's not gonna fold. So are you trying to get the small blind to call or what are you trying to do? So the specter of getting beat by a better flush
Uh,
here is already done. He's already going to shove no matter what you do if he has a ace high flush. So you don't have to worry about that.
yeah, if
So the
he's
question is,
trapping a flush down
yeah.
here,
So the question is, do you
it's
want
true.
him to call? Do you want him to call or not? If you want him to call, then you would. If you think he'll call, then I guess you would just call to give him
How
odds.
how often does he bet the turn with a flush draw and then slow down on the river?
That's the
I don't,
question.
it's a kind of a corner case, so I can't really, I haven't played with him
Yeah.
that much. I can't really
I'm
speak to
saying
how,
in
if he's going to
general,
play
he's
that.
unlikely though to bet the turn with a flush draw and then slow down now on the river when he gets there.
yeah,
He would just come
especially
out and continue to bet if he was
That
going
would
to bet his
be,
flush draw.
yeah,
So
that
then
would
you want
be,
to then you want to call and give him odds.
yeah,
That makes
that
more
would be
sense. I agree.
unconventional.
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think are we, but then by that logic, are we trapping the nuts here? If we had like ace 10 of hearts, are
What
we
do you
just
mean?
calling with the nuts to keep small blind in?
Well, you got to think about it like this. If you can get him, you lose 40 extra dollars when you come back over the top and he folds, and the other guy calls, obviously. You make $40, but I think that you're going to be able to get him to call pretty often by
Well, what do
just
you guys
calling. I
think?
would
I
trap
mean,
the nuts
so
too. I would
are you
trap the
gonna,
nuts.
I mean, that's a play I didn't think about. Like if I had Adrian has a good point. I mean, sometimes we keep this guy in if we just call.
Yeah, I would
I had
flat.
not
I
thought
would.
about that. I thought more about, do we have, um, I thought of, yeah, I'm like trying to figure out if this is
You can definitely
what our
raise
value
the only
threshold is. But if you
the
take that
other
argument to the
argument.
next level is the nut flush draw, then maybe we call and trap so the small blind calls.
If,
Because big blind didn't have much behind. He's got like 30, 40 bucks
yeah,
behind.
yeah,
We could also think about winning a side pot here too. The problem is if you can get him to call. I just don't think when you jam here, small blind's ever calling. I think he will call if you just flat it.
All right, so
But
that
if
yeah, but that's my argument. Then do we flat the nuts here?
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and hope that that when he has a flush, he raises our flat, and we love it.
Or he has a 9 or something like that if you don't have the 9.
Yeah, so this is a very unusual multi-way spot with a pretty good hand. All right, so the argument is that we have the nuts here. Hypothetically, we would call to keep in small blind with his straights and to hope that if he has a lesser flush, he raises us.
Right,
And he automatically has a
Yeah.
straight because it's straight on the
right.
board.
So
Right.
Well, I
he
should say if he has a
a 9.
9.
Yeah.
A lot of people will make the mistake of putting in another 100 with nothing here for the split, for the three-way split. It's a mistake, but people will make it.
Yeah, mathematically it's a mistake, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. So I did not go to trapping here, but that's a really good thought, which is why it's fun to take these hands to a group of people. Think about these spots differently.
Yeah.
But we decided to call.
Yeah.
I felt this wasn't a value raise. The other question I was going to ask here is where is our value raise threshold? But you guys telling me we are trapping here because of the unique nature of 5 to
Yeah.
straight on board,
hmm
and we want to keep this guy in.
Right. And let's
And
say
then
you call.
and then he's going to maybe overvalue his flushes if we call.
Yeah. If you call and he jams, you probably have to call off because he could be doing that with a 9 or the other 9-10
Yeah,
Yep.
true.
or a
This is
lower
why this
flush.
hand is interesting.
You have to call off.
So I then accidentally did the right thing and called. Here we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
yeah, his 2-3 probably he probably would have called you off. Probably.
It's a weird one.
But you have to, but he has to have a flush that's so bad that he doesn't raise it,
Yeah,
which is what he
So-
had.
it's a weird spot.
That's
So
what-
you all are strong proponents of trapping here.
all right. I'm gonna steal something from you. Yep.
Sure.
I'm just gonna steal it just long to do Prometheus on this board. All right, here we go. So small blind does a lot of checking on this board. This is
Yeah,
check.
I thought this was a check board.
You get a
Oh,
lot.
you're on small blind now?
Yeah, that was small blind. Now big blind does, he has some bets, but he does a lot of checking. Checks, and now you have a lot of bets, and your 10-9 is happy to bet. Let's look at the suits. Your bet 10-9 loves to bet.
So you're betting all the backdoor flush draws.
All the backdoor flush draws with the 2 overs and the gutter. It's a bet for these guys.
Yeah,
Now,
this is interesting, right? This is not what we'd see if we put this in
right,
GTO Wizard, we would not see a lot of bets there.
right. And the interesting thing, you have GTO Wizard does a 3-way now?
It does, but you have to have I do not have it. You have to have
Okay.
a very fancy
There you go.
subscription.
Now, had you done it in this particular hand, remember what the big blind's hand was? It was 8-9. So he flopped the straight.
Yeah.
So you were getting raised and there's a reasonable chance you were not going to see that 8.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So unless he decides that he's so strong that he's going to continue to slow play, and then it's great because the pot's bigger.
Can
I
you
was gonna say,
share
on that
the
board, he
solving
might
it?
end up slow playing because it's pretty dry.
Yeah. Here we go. You want to see, what do you want to see about this one?
What percentage is spending? It's spending like 70% here.
Oh, of overall,
Yeah, in position.
50% bets,
Yeah,
and your hand is pure. With
that
the,
is
with the backdoor flush draw, that pushes it over the edge. Without, it doesn't.
surprising.
Yeah. And then if we want to look at, it's being weird. It's not letting me click out of this mode. So let's see if this gets me out of it or if it sends me all the way to the beginning. Yeah, it sends me all the way to the beginning. Okay. That's what we saw with the wizard. All right. Back on.
No worries.
I mean, that's what we saw on Prometheus.
All right, one more hand for me, and then we'll pass it on.
And that's not a surprise, by the way, that it bets that hand, right?
I am surprised it bets at that frequency multi-way
Okay.
on that texture. I am surprised.
Oh, you mean overall
Yeah,
for the range? But that particular hand, you're not surprised to see a bet there, right?
I am actually. I am surprised that I'm not betting.
All right.
All right. So ace queen. We like ace queen, especially on the buttons. We've got a reg who opens to 10. Fun player calls. We've got 3 callers, so we have ace queen. What do you guys want to do? Don't all chat up at once.
We're definitely gonna squeeze.
Yeah,
All right.
let's squeeze.
Player squeeze. What size?
I'm gonna go 70.
I think 70's fine. Um,
55 minimum.
Yeah, I think you gotta go 70 live because once you get one caller, you're getting another one. So you want to get a heads up in
so I should have.
position.
I think going bigger here is fine. Is better than what I did. I think probably 60's good. It's going to create an awkward SPR if any of these guys behind call, but we will see what happens. I go 50. I think a better size is probably 60, 70. I think that's a better size than this. I was thinking 3x plus
Larry,
the
in
two
the
calls.
last hand, were you the hijack or were you the cutoff in the previous hand? Because I just looked at Prometheus again and I'm getting a completely different result. You were the hijack. All right. Go back to what you were doing. I will see why this is different.
Is it betting more or checking more?
It is checking more.
Yeah, that's a lot of checking. That's a lot of betting on
Let me
that.
see if I had it in the high. I might have had it in the cutoff. That might have been the difference. Let me see.
So yeah, we gotta think. I think 60 or 70 is better here because then we get this. We got a call, fold, call.
Yep.
So now our SPR is around 2. We've got top pair.
I mean,
And
we're
what do we know about this texture? Describe this texture in 2 words.
static, dry.
Yep, static dry. So this is a quite dry static board. And I don't know if this is the best play, but I thought this was a time to pull this out because
Don't tell me you check.
I'm going to tell you I checked. You don't have to bet top pair on this dry static board every single time. I am going to have some checks in. This is
And,
not pot control. SPR
and,
2, we pretty much got to get it in. This is about um trapping and inducing from a very, very aggressive reg. I saw this guy over and over again. Someone checks, they just
All right.
attack. Just
Great.
automatically. It's like if he sees someone check, like if he's defending big blind, someone checks, he will
Goes for
overbet turn.
Great.
So he's probably a better player than me because he doesn't give a fuck. So that's his exploit. His exploit is I see weakness, I am going to attack. Now I don't remember who actually. So I check, and a lot of textures I'm going to bet, but I think this particular texture allows us to check at some frequency with this SPR.
I think out of position it would be a good check, but in position, I don't know.
Let's
I
see
like
what,
a
remember, Adrian, can you get it all in 2 streets with this SPR if you want to? Absolutely, right? So you don't need the flop.
Yes. Yeah.
So if-
I think
Yeah,
my
so-
argument, and you guys can tell me if this is off base. There's 2 things going on here. Number one is that, we have this aggressive guy attacks weakness as the reg. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Three things. Number one. Number two, the texture. This is a pretty dry texture. Sure, 6-7 is out there, but it's pretty dry texture. And three, the SPR. The SPR is essentially 2.
Yeah.
So those three, I think I get us to a spot where we do get some checks here. So that's my argument. Someone tell me I'm wrong or does anybody disagree? I'm trying to understand
No,
if this play is
I don't
dumb or okay
disagree.
or brilliant.
I
I
agree
think it's
100%.
I think
So
it's bad.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
The SPR is 2. So what are you using to what is your formula for SPR as far as it goes? 2, 3. How is that working into your logic as to whether or not you're betting or not?
He's got
Well, I
350
know that
behind.
I've got, if I make this a 2-street game,
Mhm.
I check here, and the SPR is roughly 2. I know I can go B60 and get it in.
Okay.
So I can go B60 on turn and B60 on river, and that will essentially be all the money.
And all in. So with an SPR 2, you only have to bet 60% twice, is what you're
Ex-
saying, and everything
Yeah,
goes on
yeah,
it.
roughly that's geometric. Yeah.
And imagine this guy's got a worse ace than ace queen, and he doesn't play it aggressively. We're going to be all in by the river easy, and he's going to have to call 2 bets. That's easy.
That's
Imagine
easy.
he
Yeah.
has a pocket pair here,
Mhm.
9s or 10s. We're only getting one street, and it's easier to get, and it might be easier to get that street on the turn. Plus, he might bet it out.
Yeah, I think in this specific spot, the check
Yeah,
isn't terrible.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So just the I'm not, obviously this is not what I'm gonna do all the time, but I think this is a particular spot because of the 4 criteria I laid out.
Yeah.
I like it.
Aggressive
I
guy.
less about those. Yeah, specifically him being a player that just stabs because you're not going to get him to call here with nothing, but you might be able to get a little bit of value from his stab now on the turn. So
Right.
And also
I
this is
think it's
counterintuitive because we're usually gonna play more face up multi-way,
Hmm.
but yeah. Aggressive guy, SPR, dry texture. And so here we go. So we check. That's not the greatest turn, but what did we expect? We were asking for it.
We're betting the turn though if nobody bets. So
And then
yeah.
the aggressive guy unfortunately checks. This guy bets 30 into 163. Now,
Okay.
now what do you guys want to do?
raise.
Raise. Yeah, because if aggressive guy isn't doing anything here, he doesn't have anything.
Right.
And you're not going to get money from him. So
So the way I thought about it at this point is that I am going to call. I think probably a raise was better. But 7 does bring in some 2-pair, the multi-way. So I chose a passive line.
Okay. Let me throw one thing out. I'm not
Sure.
saying a passive line is wrong, but against all 6x, how much money will a 6x call here?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Right on the
And how much
list,
money
so.
will it call on the river? It will call 0 on the river unless it is 6-7, 5-6, 6-8.
Yeah, yeah.
Small bet. But all those bets, all those hands will call, certainly 90, if not 120.
Yeah, yeah. And that, this is a common refrain from Scotty, and I think it's right, frankly, and it's something I've tried to integrate into my game. Understanding that, draws, if you choose, this is trappy kind of. But if we raise here, we're gonna get value from draws. And the 7 changed the texture of the board a lot. But if we just call here, they're not gonna give us a penny on
Right.
on
And then here's
river.
another way to look at it. How would you describe this bet?
Pro. This is a pro.
But it's probe. That's the definition. But what I mean is, this is this is, at this size pot, this is kind of a min bet, right? This is a very small bet.
Yeah,
This is
If you treat this
weak,
the same as a check, how much would you have bet against check, check?
like a
If you're
100,
gonna bet
right?
against check, check, right?
I would have bet 60%, so
Yeah, so
100,
let's
yeah.
at least, so let's make sure the pot is, so let's make sure the bet is at least as big as you would have bet it, if not bigger. That's my other way of looking at it. Okay. So you check, I mean, so you call.
Yeah, I think a raise is better here. I think you have very good points here.
Yeah.
He gets out of the way.
Because he's done. He's done.
Yeah, he's get out of the way. And so now you get to repeat 7. Check, and what do you guys do?
180.
All right. Yeah, I was about to say, because he has a lot of, what are you targeting? I mean, what hands can we target here? What does he come out and lead with? There are some
We
weird,
can target
like
a
nines,
we can target a
tens.
worse ace that's never gonna. I think we target a worse ace that's never gonna fold.
Yeah,
And also we look capped, right?
yeah. I mean, you look weak.
Because I chose to check. We don't have that many aces here
Right.
in this pool when I chose to check flop and then call the tiny bet.
And I think, by the way, to get called, you probably have to bet smaller than all in, but I'm just not going to bet smaller than all in with an SPR of 0.7 or whatever this is.
Yeah, so I do shove.
Yeah.
We
Just
get called. And we bet.
Weak
Was
ace.
it an 8? Was it an 8 or a weak ace?
And he didn't shove.
Probably a weak
Oh.
ace.
Okay.
So the real question I think is just to go over this hand again to reiterate. Does it make sense my choice to merge each check here?
I mean, in this results oriented, it's fine because the guy that's aggressive obviously had no interest in this hand, in this pot.
Well, let's not
But
worry about results.
let's say non-results oriented, you have this aggressive player. I don't hate it, but I think you can just go. I'd be worried. I mean, you can get your whole stack in either way, so it's not a big deal to check here. You can go 2 streets, but I think that if you bet here, say you bet here and he floats with 6, 7 of hearts, something like that, and then the turn comes out and another heart comes on the board. Well, you can't have that, but let's say that's a different turn comes out where he picks up more equity. You can get him to commit the rest of his stack on the turn there on the turn.
Yeah,
Like versus
I
betting
think
the
another option is to play this. I think the fast way to play this would be to set up a 2-street game here where we B60 and then all in.
yeah. I mean, you're giving. I don't want to play scared and be like, oh, I'm worried about getting outdrawn. I'm worried about getting outdrawn. That's not the way I think. I just think about it like, okay, let's make them pay the maximum to see cards. So let's put money in now and get them to commit their stack and get their money in on a draw here on the river instead of letting them realize their equity.
Let me ask this another way here. Multi-way, are we thinking of this as a 2-street game because of the SPR?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's either, so I think the two most profitable, mine was, an unusual trap check line on this dry texture, which I think allowed for it at this SPR. So I think our two lines are 2 streets, B60 all in, which is B60, B60, roughly, are the check and then the B60 shove.
Right.
But
And
I think the raise here is better. I think you're right. I think this is an error to call here. I put
What was the
myself in
thought
trap.
process?
I decided I was trapping and I wanted this guy to freak out to do rig
Well, that make,
attack things, which he wasn't
I
very
don't hate it
interested.
then of getting this guy doing that to try and get the guy on your left to spaz.
Yeah, this aggro rig can do is favorable, but he wasn't interested. He just
I don't hate it
clearly
then.
he probably had like king queen or queen 10 or something. So yeah. So this
let me
is
say a good thing
okay.
about your, let me say a good thing about your trap call here, which I'm still against, but the thing you described as this reg, you described him specifically as he was going to bet out with anything here. So he had nothing. Got it. But because that guy bet so small and you were so passive against his bet, he might have gone, well, screw that, even with this nothing, and jump in there.
Yeah,
Now, it's a little hard because the other guy only has 180 behind to fold in a pot that's already going to be, 250.
And what if you,
250 with
yeah.
his call plus, the other 180 in there. So he might not fold anything. He might not fold a draw to it. So maybe the guy doesn't go for it. But that's the one thing that I think about your call that is good. I still think the things that are about your raise are better.
I like the raise two better because I think that if just the way you describe this player, he's just going to come out and bet here on the turn instead of trying check raise. It's more
Yeah.
likely that he'll just come out and bet after he saw it check through. So once that happens, you can expect that he's pretty much done with the hand. So you might as well just focus on getting all the money from the other guy.
One other
yeah,
thing, if on the flop you choose not to do the check behind and you bet the small size, then you're in a 2-street game against the cutoff, but you are conceivably in a 3-street game against the initial raiser.
yeah, that's
It's just based on size. You bet 50, he calls, the other guy folds. The pot is now 260. You've got
300 behind.
300 behind. You might jam, but you might
That's also
not jam it. Probably would. Actually, yeah. Yeah, 300 into 260, yeah, just jam. So it's
I
it's
think
also a
this is
hungry horse too. Like betting small there on that flop would be what he would most likely do. I mean, he would normally go big bet or check, but multi-way, I think he would treat this more like a 3-bet pot and bet small here in position with basically everything to get some people that spaz to spaz.
Does he do
And
big better? Does he do big better check on multi-way? I didn't think so. I thought he just bet best
no,
hand draws, but
I
he doesn't.
said on heads up, ace
Oh, heads
high,
up, heads up. Yes, thank you.
ace high board like this, he would
Yes,
big better check.
over
But
better.
in this, but I think he slightly adjusts that in 3-bet
Yeah.
pots because people float too wide
Mhm.
in that situation. So you could bet here, and this guy might float you with some absolute bullshit, and you can get a little bit more value from him, and then stack off the other player.
Yeah.
Because he might float you for one street, but he's probably not going to float you on the second street.
All right. You done with this hand, Larry?
I am. I'm passing it back.
All right, Brian, prep hands, and I want to show one insane thing. Here we are back in Prometheus. And I said it. Oh, why are you not letting me do this? Okay, I'll just reload it again. Okay. Prometheus being. So we're gonna do the same thing. Cash, 100 big blinds deep. Hijack, small blind, big blind. Flop is 5, 6, 7, right?
Yeah, 5, 6, 7
5, 6,
rainbow. I
7
think.
rainbow. There it is. And this time looking at the same thing, it looked really different. Okay. So here we go. So this guy does lots of checking. We check. This next guy now has much more betting, 50% betting. I don't know what's different. I don't know what we looked at before. Maybe I'll go back and look at the recording, but 50% betting. He has the 8-9, and with his 8-9, he decides to do the unusual thing of trapping. Okay, good enough. So he traps. Now, look at your 9-10 that we said, same flop. Totally different. Totally different. I don't know what's different here.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, I don't either. But what it says is that your check is just fine because you had the 9-10 of the not top pair suit. You had right. You
True.
had like you in this version you had like the 9-10 of diamonds, right? You had the second pair.
Whatever the 6 is.
Yeah, you had the second pair suit. So it's half and half. So perfectly reasonable,
Okay.
right? And then Prometheus is now doing this in my world of not letting us get out of that. Oh, there we go. We had to close that mode. That's how we do it. All right, there you go. Now,
Interesting.
if you bet, and he does check and do it, this is the size that he's going to come out with his 8-9 on you. So you bet small here. All right, that was your main size, was small. Small blind is the guy who has nothing, right? He has deuce 3 of hearts. So he's probably folding. Let's just assume he folds his deuce three of hearts. So he folds. Now this guy, when he does slow play the 8-9, does he always spring the trap? No. But when he does, he often goes to the 7.5 big blinds. So let's do that.
Eight clubs too.
Yeah, 7.5 big blinds. And now there you are with your 10-9, folding out all that equity. So that's
We're
not,
calling.
yeah. Oh, these
It's
are
calling,
calls?
right?
Oh, these are calls. I'm sorry. I read this wrong. So there you are calling, putting more money in the pot. All right. So that's what I thought that was a fold. I didn't get its colors right.
Surprisingly, a call actually.
Yeah, yeah. That's enough. It's enough. Gut shot
Well,
and 2 overs is enough.
it's big implied. You got a lot of implied odds here. You're not even folding the offsuit 10-9.
Yeah. So there you
Interesting.
go. All right, Brian.
Let me pull my sheet up. All right, can you see it? So I'm only on one monitor today.
Yeah.
I'm to come back home for Thanksgiving. Okay, let me move some stuff around. This is weird now. Okay. Things in my way. Okay. Let's do this hand first. All right, so we have an open from early position of ace queen on the button. Get one call. We are absolutely three betting. Like with Larry, I think I could have gone bigger here. I don't think it's terrible, but I think I can go bigger.
It was better
But
against. I was against 3. You're against 2.
yeah, I still like to go bigger. I think 60 is the right size here instead of 50, but I don't think it's really 50 is technically, I think, correct. But I think,
Don't forget to count the money in the blinds. That's what pushes it up to 55.
yeah. Yeah, so I like 60 better, but we accomplish what we need. We get heads up with a never really played with the guy. He guys is arguing with the dealer. So I would say just based on that information, I don't know much how he plays, but he's more aggro player. Just a personality trait that I would um base that off of. But he calls, we get this flop. Very nice. Not
Right.
complaining. And he checks to me. And I believe I bet somewhat small here. Yeah, I bet 35 here. I bet really small. Three bet pot. I'm doing Hungry Horse. So if I want him to raise off his two pairs sets, queen stronger queen X, stuff like that. I want him to get that raised off and let me know.
So
So
if
that
he raises there, are you folding top pair, top kicker there now? Or
no, not yet. Not yet. Because there's also a chance to steal it. Like some people will raise here with Queen Jack.
right.
And when they raise the Queen Jack and say a king comes out, I have an opportunity now to steal this. I mean, I was already ahead, but I can definitely
Yeah.
steal the pot now.
Okay.
So they do like these players they overvalue. So top pairs like they will raise, but they're gonna start to slow down a little bit when I call them on
Yeah.
that turn. If they're holding Queen Jack, they're probably gonna check back, and when they check back over here, I'm gonna be pretty convinced that I have the best hand. Then I'm gonna continue to go for value. But he just calls. So this is where I thought it was interesting, and I think that my play is good, but let's just show. So now he bets 35. This is not this card completes basically nothing.
It does bring in a
But
draw that you could be interested in.
the only thing this and that's part of my thought process here is that based off of past experience, I had seen. You remember with the where I fought the set and she had a flush and then she led the turn for a small price and I didn't raise and I let
Yeah.
her get her price to the river. So that's what's going on in my brain here was okay, so this is something I've seen. The only thing that changed here is he had pocket threes that he opened, he just turned a set,
Yeah. That
but
happens.
he wouldn't take this size when he
You'd
does
also have
that.
to call pocket threes to your bet on.
Yes.
Oh.
Which is possible. These people they float pretty wide. They'll
Yeah,
call
it's
one
possible.
time.
Use the
But
small size.
yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, so he has draws and weak hands that want to go to his draws will pay. I can bump this up and I can make his draws pay that I'm not going to get value from on the river. So I raise here, and I think it's the right thought process, but I think I also need to look more into the sizing because that's what makes it hard is this sizing is sometimes a weak hand that wants to see that just wants to set a price and not have to pay my price. And I've been betting big all day, so they've been seeing me bet large all day, so they know what's coming on the turn here is another large bet most likely, or a second bet that's going to be substantial that they don't want to face.
Mhm.
But that's the problem is I because it's half of his range is weak queen X or 10X, and then the other half is draws that want to set their price to go to the river. So that's why I raise because I think his draws need to pay more to see another card than $35. And his 10X, I don't know, his 10X is gonna fold out and stuff. So that's the conundrum I'm in is when I raise here, I lose the value I'm gonna get from a 10X on the river or pocket nines or pocket jacks on the river. But I give him a good price to draw to another card when he's sitting here with a draw. Wondering what you guys think.
I think it's the right play. I think we want to. I might go. Well, number one, you can't fold to a check jam here. I mean, he doesn't have much behind.
I mean, when he did this, I was completely confident that I had the best hand.
Yeah. I might go smaller. I mean, he's not going to think about the pot odds he's being offered probably, but this, I think,
This is an absolute sizing that is large in the game.
yeah, I think you want to use a smaller size to keep in draws. If that's, I mean, so what's the likely range here? So we decided the likely range is a
Weak
draw that
queen
wants to
X.
set its price
I don't.
and or a weaker queen or 10x that wants to get to river cheap.
Yeah, things like
Um,
pocket jacks, pocket nines, stuff like that as
Maybe
well.
pocket jacks, pocket nines. So I think the problem is that you set up an awkward SPR here. Um, he is to call here, he's pot committed. Maybe you want to use a size he doesn't feel as pot committed. I don't know what that price is. Maybe 90 or 100.
All right, I have a simplification to think about this, which is we're going to assume that he plays somewhat intelligently, just for the shorthand right now, which is a queen will pay and a 10 and tens and jacks and nines will all fold. And if they don't fold now, they would have folded to a bet on the river. There is no more money coming from the tens. If he's probing with a 10, he folds to a raise. If he's probing with a 10 and you flat, he's not betting the river and he's not calling a bet. Okay. So you're getting, this is the amount of money you're getting from nines, tens, and jacks. So you're going to get more money from all his queen X and all his draws. So now, price size for queen X and draws. Ignore all jacks and tens.
Queen X and draws, I would jam.
All right, then. There you go. That's my opinion.
Yeah. And then, yeah, see, this is the same thing that we were talking about of me doing this in between sizing
Yep.
and trying to capture his entire range instead of focusing on one thing. And I need
Right.
to think about it like, okay, what is his range? This is his range. Okay, what am I going to get paid by more? What am I going to get paid more by? And what am I not going to get paid by? So let's target what we're going to get paid by and what we're not going to get paid by anyways. And
Yeah.
that's what I think my thought process needs to be
Right.
going
Now,
into rivers
yep.
and turns.
Right. Now, with that in mind, remember, I put a huge assumption on there. I said tens and jacks are not putting in any more money. Now, of course, tens and jacks, if you call and on the river you bet $30, they're going to call. You can get $30 from them. But any reasonable size that you're going to bet on the river, am I right?
No,
Tens
because
and jacks
yeah,
will call
you're right.
anyways.
Because on the river, I'm not going to go super tiny.
Right then. Okay.
It'd be only be targeting one part of his
All
range
right.
if I did that. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think that I need to adjust that thought process.
Okay. Now, with that in mind, Larry, first of all, Larry, do you accept that? Do you accept that premise?
I'm going to be honest and tell you, I was not paying attention. I
Okay.
got distracted.
All right. In that case, Brian or Adrian, repeat it. So there's no reason for me to repeat it. So let's hear it from somebody else.
What he's
So
saying is,
basically, go ahead,
well, go
Adrian.
ahead. Go ahead. Me? Okay. So what he's saying is if he has tens or jacks, um, he's not going to call a big bet on the river, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Basically, we're not getting more money from anything but a queen. So let's
Yeah.
just target
Right.
that.
Well, then
So we
also
should
let's
jam here.
target draws.
Right. Queens and draws.
Yeah.
Queens
Yeah,
and
jam here instead
that's my
then.
simplification.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think we want to. I mean, we can't. This is a unusual out of solver universe. I mean, it's. I mean, we have solver as dogs, but not on this card. This doesn't
It's
chip
all of
directly.
live poker, Larry. It's out of solver universe.
That's true.
Yeah, true.
So I think, yeah, I'm of the argument that we do want to raise here. I just think, and I think, um, essentially, I think Scotty's argument is that it's very hard to get a 10x that's setting a price or shitty queen X to call river, right?
No. Shitty Queen X
They
might
will.
call it. I'm saying that I'm saying tens and jacks and nines have put in all the money they're going to put in. So let's stop trying to get more money from them and let's get even more money from queens and draws that will pay more than
Yeah,
tens.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So my question to you, Larry, is if you accept that simplification, and I
Yes.
tell you that his continuous range is 100% Queen X and draws, and then the few hands that beat us that we're going to go broke to, I don't care about them. What size do you want to go now? Given all the SPR and everything about it, that's my question. Ignore tens and jacks.
Actually, I kind of like this price now that we put it this way because we're offering them around, I think, around 20%. And we are going to assume his draws around a straight and draws around a flush are 18%. So I kind of like this size because we're offering him 20% here, and he's getting 18%. So we're making the call unprofitable.
Yeah, but he's got some implied odds
Yeah,
with that. So don't we have to make it even more unprofitable?
yeah, that's what I was saying. I disagree with my size more, and I think I should just jam here.
Yeah.
Because if he's going in with a draw, I leave him with what behind? 55
Yeah,
dollars.
no one,
So
you're
let's
never
get him to
folding this
commit the
hand.
rest of it.
You're not folding this hand on river because the pot odds are leading up, but if you jam it on him.
And you know what? I'm sorry.
So yeah, I mean, okay, jam. I could see a jam. I'm down
Yeah,
with the jam.
and you also don't have a queen of clubs, which is pretty good here. You want him to have a queen of clubs there.
So yeah, I like jam. I think jam is
Right.
jam makes sense.
And if he has any draw better than a gut shot and he folds it, that's great too. I mean,
Yeah,
he
you
doesn't
win.
get money from it, but we fold out a bunch of equity. That's good too.
Yeah, you win.
We're not unhappy if he folds a draw.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't feel like the right size because it's in between. I mean, essentially you're pot committing him, so you might as well just shove. And if he's in a gambling mood, he's gonna call off with his club draw, call off with his
Yeah, the other thing I was thinking
whatever,
about
like
too is
king
that
jack.
with this is like the in-between size, but I don't even think there's an in-between size. I feel like there's basically one option here, and that's to jam. Because the in-between size, if I go min click, he's still probably laying down jacks, nines, tens. So the min click or just a small raise, he still folds. So we might as well go big and just target the top of his range and his draws.
The way I'm
So
thinking about this, and I
is
could be
the
wrong, the way I'm thinking about this is that his draws are on the king jack. You know, if he gets with jack nine suited, and club draws and heart draws are about 18%. So the way I think about it is that, well, we want to give them an unprofitable number. And I would think that would be about 25-30%, but that actually is shove. So I think shove is the right thing to do.
so
And
is
I agree.
there
Oh, go on, Adrian.
is there ever a time where his SPR is almost 0.5 where you're not shoving, where you're betting small.
Well, you got to look at it before this, but it's still, yeah, it's pretty
Right.
close to, it's still close to 0.5. You're not wrong. I should just jam here. I was trying to be cute and get him to commit more money instead of just
Yeah.
putting the rest of the money in.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the problem that I don't know you, Adrian. I don't know if you're newer, but I consistently do like in between sizes where I need to pick one size or the other and just target those parts of the ranges instead of trying to get both of them to call because they're not both going to call.
Yep.
And also, let's keep in mind, not, you and I are newish to live poker.
Hmm.
Making these choices when you're looking at a stack across the table is not the easiest thing.
Oh,
I
it's
think it
not.
gets better with time, but estimating stack size, SPR, what's remaining behind is not easy. Ron. So did
Yeah.
he fold?
Yeah, he folded and he actually showed pocket sixes.
Great. There was no more money coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
nothing else was coming.
Yeah.
The results oriented, it's like, oh, you made the wrong play, but because you
No.
could maybe get a little more value from fucking sixes on the river, but
what the fuck is he doing with Pucks and six? It's weird.
couldn't tell you.
Right.
That's
So
what,
one thing, Brian, in something you said earlier, I agree with your conclusion, but I disagree with one statement in the logic. When you said if he's got tens or jacks, he's not even calling a min click raise. I disagree. I think that jacks and any 10, because the 10 has 5 outs, I think they will call a min click raise. They will call 35, but giving 35 to a smaller queen and the flush draws, given that you're going to go that we're choosing between 35 and all in, is a terrible choice. We're
I
not.
don't know if it's just me, but I think you're cutting out a lot.
Oh, did I cut out? Okay.
No, we can. It's you, man.
Which me? Me or
Oh,
Brian?
sorry. It's Brian. Brian.
That's you, Brian. Just
Sorry,
because
let
I'm
me.
just because I'm sitting in a tub while we're doing this doesn't mean I'm cutting out. I am actually sitting in a
Okay,
tub
wait, I
right
think it's
now.
getting better now. Yeah, it's getting better now. There we go.
Okay. So what I said was just this: when you said the tens and jacks aren't even calling a min click, well, that I disagree with. I think tens and I think Jack 10, King 10, 10 9. I think they're all calling a min click. But getting $35 more from that while giving a draw only $35 is a big mistake. So
Okay.
I started with a simplification of any reasonable size. This is all the money they're putting in, but they would call an unreasonable size, unreasonably small. But we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah,
make that play unless it was highly exploitative,
exactly.
but
And this was the wrong
yeah,
exploit for it because he has not shown with this bet that his range consists of pocket sixes and 7 8.
yeah.
If it did, then you would have to bet that small. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was weak, but I didn't think he was that weak.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. I think I think that his range includes bad queens and draws. It includes that, and those are where and there's so much more money from them than there is from the few 10x that will call a min click like that. Okay.
Can we take a second? Because I think it makes sense for us to think about this. What is his thought process? I think it
his
makes
thought
sense for us
process.
to understand what a kind of a fishy play is thinking here. I think the answer that comes to me is that he's trying to fold out your air.
No,
No, I
Ace
think
high.
Dean's gonna.
He's trying to
I
fold
think
ace
Dean's
high.
gonna.
He doesn't want to draw the aces or kings.
I think that he's scared of what I'm gonna do. Is
Yep.
not his. I don't think his thought
Yeah,
process is
yeah.
I'm trying to get you to fold anything, especially. I mean, maybe for that size because live players bluff way too small. I think that their thought process is when they're I mean like you see the way I bet is completely different from the way everybody else bets on the table. Like I'm consistently over betting pots and betting over $100 in the pots and stuff like that, and they despise it because everybody else is betting $50 or $25 or whatever. So he knows he's seen me prior and he knows what's coming on the next street, assuming that I have, depending on the situation, but with what I have, the next bet is going to be pretty substantial here. It's not going to
Nice.
be.
So he's
small
trying to
bet.
set his bet, set his price to try to get to the river.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because he knows he can't
and
get to the river with check, but maybe he can get to river with this bet.
Yeah, he should have, he doesn't have it. He should have folded flop, frankly. All right.
well, real quick, I want to see what is this? So he 183. What am I gonna? I want to think about it like this. Say he checks here. So what am I gonna bet here? He's got 215 behind it,
So what's your SPR? Your
183.
SPR is like 0.75.
I mean, honestly, I still think in this situation, what is his range? He calls my small bet on the flop. Now he checks the turn. He's capped, but he still has strong hands that are inelastic. So I can still
So
go pretty large
if
here.
you bet 60,
Oh, I
he
was gonna.
calls 60. That gets us to, that seems like a, maybe, yeah, I think 60 maybe.
I think the
I
Wizards
think
an
I would
over
jam.
the
Archer.
Wizards are an overbet or a
I
pot,
would
man.
jam.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would jam here.
yeah,
I wouldn't bet 60.
yeah. I don't think 60s would work in GTO Wizard.
I
Okay.
don't even care what GTO says, just based off of this. He
Yeah.
has a lot of hands that just aren't going to fold. So let's
Well,
get them to put the money in
I
before a
mean,
bad river
so
comes.
let's target what I was thinking about his specific hand and what might get him to call a call.
We're done with his hand.
So,
I don't think his hand calls a second bet that you're willing to make.
okay.
Remember, you've got a double flushed board.
Yeah. So in theory, we actually, in theory, on this wet texture, double flush draw board, we size up, right? We
Size
know
up.
that is theory.
And so if you size up to, let's just say 2/3 as your size up, 120, and then you look at his stack depth, you go 120. Well, that is 215.
C15.
If he had 400 left, like if he had 400 left, then 120 makes sense, 180 makes sense, 200 makes sense. But because he has 215, it seems like 120 is 215.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting
Yeah.
the rest of the money in.
That's my thought. I
So
also
your thought is that this is a two-street game here. If we
yeah,
check.
I also
And-
would not mind a bet of 160, 170, even though it is 215. Because I think they make mistakes on that. And then if they have anything, they call the river with the last 45 anyway, because the pot's so big.
Is the way to think about this to target his draws and say, well, what's the biggest size that?
I'm just targeting top of range here because he's capped, but he has a lot of hands that just aren't going to fold. His king
Yeah.
queen is not going anywhere.
Right.
His king jack of hearts is not going anywhere. His king jack of clubs is not going anywhere. His, even queen jack is probably not going to fold. So
Mhm.
let's just target that part of his range because like we saw right here where I mean technically we got max value from sixes because he was not going to call my bet sizing on the turn. He put in more money.
Yeah.
I raised it and he just
Yeah,
gave
that's
me
true.
extra value. So it kind of got max value from his sixes, but that I'm not getting any more from his sixes, jacks, nines on the river.
So is there a such thing as a pseudo jam on the turn? And by that I mean a jam is 215, but 200 is also a jam. Because if he has anything, if he has a single pair, he's going to call the other 15 on the river.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
no, I don't hate that either because it's
yeah,
just the difference between like when I'm bluffing, I make sure to say I'm all in
yeah,
to add that scare in their head versus when I'm
yeah,
in this situation, betting 200 is a little bit less scary because it's like, oh, he's not saying all in. He's just, and then sometimes they don't think and they'll just call and put the
yeah,
200 out there. And then 2 seconds later, they'll realize they only have 15 behind.
right. So I'm not saying it's this weird thing because of how short he is that what I said was if you bet 180, you have to bet 215 because of his stack depth. Maybe not. Maybe you can bet 180 here. Leave with 35 that he's going to call off, with every pair. But I guess the question is there anything that he calls is there any hand that he calls for 180 that he doesn't call for 215? And if not, then put in all the 215. Is that
Got
true? What do
again.
you think? 180,
Uh,
215.
Is there anything he calls for 180 that doesn't call for 215?
Yeah.
See, I know I said earlier that he might not call it jacks on that, but people do get so sticky with those strong pre-flop hands where they're like, oh, it's jacks though, or whatever it is that they
Yeah.
might call, but I don't, jacks is still pushing it. I think. What does he call for when he doesn't call for 215? I think maybe there is some draw, so he doesn't call. That he calls. No.
Well, in that case, I want to go 215.
Um,
Because I
what
don't
does he
mind.
call for 180, not 215? I know, I think he called, I think it's basically the same range in that
Right.
situation. I
Then
think
it's simple.
should just put it all in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just put it the money in, target the top of the range and in elastic hands.
Alright.
Yeah, but that's all for that hand.
Cool.
Thought that one was slightly interesting. Something to note in live games is these weird donk leads after you show aggression.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have kings, and I really don't like the way I played this. I think I actually played this kind of fucking scared money, and I'm not happy with it. But um, we go to 70. I like the size. I think I could even go bigger, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the size.
I like it.
And then we get called here,
Now I love it.
and it folds to me, and we're out of position. 3-bet pot. We get this flop. No ace, but that's also good. So this guy, older guy, kind of an asshole. He's being a dick to people at the table. But I noticed, I saw him do it multiple times where he would just stab in 3-bet pots. When check two, he's just stabbing all the time. Every single time he was stabbing. So, I checked him because I want him to stab. But so the caveat here and why I did what I did is, so see, he bets 100 now into 160. And he would stab prior in 3-bet pots, and when he would stab, it would be somewhat smaller whenever he had jack shit. And it would be, but this is the sizing I hadn't seen him use when he was stabbing. So I'm starting to weight him towards stronger hands here, actually, like queens, jacks, tens, maybe
Mhm.
even nines and stuff like that. More than junk
Mhm.
is what I'm thinking here when he takes this sizing. So I have I think I can get the rest of those hands to just put the money in now before an ace comes out or a king comes out
Mhm.
and scares the
Oh, we just lost Brian for a second. We lost the wrong Brian. We have two Brians, and we lost the talking Brian. There he
That was
goes.
his,
The
oh, that
talking
was his
Brian is back.
phone.
Welcome back, Brian.
Brian's back. Brian's back. We can't hear him.
Right. So Brian is saying he's only got 130 left. The range that does this is going to call the check raise now, and it might get scared by the next card. We're not afraid of the next card. We're not afraid of an ace completing his ace. We're afraid of an overcard to his nines, tens, or jacks scaring him. So let's put all the money in now. That's not wrong. And then the counterpoint is if we call here, all the money's going in no matter what he does, because if he doesn't bet the turn, we just bet the river. So both those are good. I think Brian's thought is better.
Yeah, so sorry, I cut out, I keep cutting out. So I put the money in because that's my thought process is this when he takes this sizing, it's a stronger hand than usual, so we can get those hands to just commit their stack down and before something comes out that scares them. And I don't think it's a terrible thought process. He ends up folding. I don't know what he had, so maybe I need to adjust and think, okay, well, maybe just because he took this smaller sizing, he might actually be someone that thinks about the size of the pot and was stabbing larger because it was a larger 3-bet pot than most of the ones that they was playing before.
Right.
So I need to maybe that's the adjustment that needs to be made here. Is this doesn't mean he's strong. This means that he actually understands how large the pot is, and that's why he's going bigger than he was prior when he would normally stab for 50, and now he's stabbing for 100. It's because the pot's double the size of what it normally was. I don't know for sure, and I don't know what he had, so I can't say.
Well,
But
also let's think about SPR. So when he bets, so go back to his bet size. You, you trap check.
I don't know if you guys. Oh my gosh, my Wi-Fi sucks here.
We can hear you. So
Let
he
me go
trap
out.
checks. Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
I can hear you now, Larry. I'm gonna go out to another room. It might be better out there.
Okay. So
Have you thought about going into the tub? It worked for me.
Okay.
Sub
I
theory
can't hear
optional.
anybody if anybody's talking to me.
Okay, so, okay, let's go to flop. Uh-oh, we lost him. We still have his phone.
Yep.
Okay. I
All
I
right,
can hear now.
well, let's go to his bet. After he bets, let's go to after he bets. You check. He bets. All right, let's look at the SPR. I think the SPR is important here. SPR is 0.5. So when we have a 0.5 SPR, you aren't you don't need to get the money in. So, a common refrain about a check raise, it's the best way to grow a pot. In this
It
situation, you
also
don't need
generates
to
the most fold
grow a
equity.
pot.
Yep.
And you don't need much protection on this lovely board for you. You don't need any protection. I think we also see this in solver. I think that when you choose to take the trap line, just continue with the trap line. The only on this texture, there's not many cards that you're worried about on turn.
Mhm.
I think that once you choose the trap line here, just continue the trap line.
Okay.
I see your point that your argument is that his sizing points towards a strong hand, like over pairs to the board, like tens or jacks here, maybe queens even. But I think your SPR drives you towards continuing to trap. Because if it goes check, check, turn, 80% of rivers, 100% of rivers, you're going to feel comfortable just putting the money in.
And if he has
Yeah.
a pair, he has to call you.
Yeah. Now this would be different at a deeper SPR, but at this SPR, I think you once you choose to trap, you just trap.
What do you guys think about leading on the flop?
I'd be fine
Well,
too.
it's a C bet, but yeah, I mean C bet.
I'm fine.
Well, yeah, it's c betting the flop. The only
But
reason
Not against this guy.
yeah, against this guy, I didn't want to because
Yeah.
I know how often he's gonna stab.
And
It's
you were right.
basically every time.
Now I have a question for you on this guy, which is, um, we expect him to stab. Let's say he's stabbing with almost nothing. Let's say he's stabbing with 10 queen
Yeah.
with a backdoor. Let's just give him that. 10 queen of diamonds is his stab. Is he going to continue on the turn?
No.
All right.
No, he's a one trick pony.
In that
One
case,
street pony.
in that case, your check raise is good here because all the hands that we talked about, they're all calling this. Every pair, every overpair is calling this. He stabbed with nonsense and he doesn't continue with his nonsense. Now,
yeah, I think if he's not gonna aggress on turn, then yeah, your check raise is better.
right. Now, one other thing though about doing the check call, when he's got 10 queen of diamonds here, on the turn, it's not good when he picks up the 9 of diamonds. That's not good. But when he picks up a 10 or a queen, that's great. And you allowed it to happen by check calling. So there's that.
Yeah, that's what I was in between here was giving him a chance to slightly catch up to be able to get him to put the rest of his money in or just
Mhm.
trying to, and I chose the latter to choose the stronger part of his range because of his sizing.
So let's
But
say the turn was not not an ace because you actually might slow down on an ace. Let's say the turn was a queen. And what he actually has was pocket nines. So he's probably going to check. It's probably going to go check, check on the turn. Then on the river for only 130 more in a pot that is 462. After you've gone check, call, check, check, and you bet the river. Do you think he's folding pocket nines there with with just the queen overcard? I think he is.
yeah, I don't think he's calling me down. It goes down to
Don't you think he's
absolute
folding?
sizing. I think he's gonna fold because of absolute sizing.
Okay. Yep.
I think if I bet small on the river, I could get nines to call, but
You're not betting.
which is also, yeah, it'd be ridiculous because there's 0.5 behind,
Yeah.
but that's the only way I think I get them to call is not because once I go 130 in, he's probably going to start to get pretty squeamish.
Yep. Okay.
I don't know, like I played against him. He played when I saw him make one good hand where I sucked out on him on where he made one good hand. And I mean, he just played it aggressively all the way through. But I saw him play multiple times where he would stab big flop and then just check down all the way through and fold off on the river and shit like
Right.
that. So he was stabbing with bullshit or something half decent that got worse as it went on and then folded out. So he was an old guy, but didn't play old man coffee style.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, but that's all the hands I have, I believe.
Okay. All right.
Yep, that's
I
all
got
I got.
something. Okay. I got video hands. All right. There's no limit to how much cash you can carry on a domestic flight. That's nice.
Yeah, I had to look because I was flying here and I didn't want to bring my whole bankroll, but I wanted to bring something to play with.
Yep. Yeah, I thought it used to be 10 grand, but maybe that was international. Anyway.
That's what I thought it was too, but it says there's none.
Yeah. So a friend of mine, when it was 10 grand, traveled with 9,900 and like got pulled over and they, and got searched and they found it and they made this big deal about it. Like how he was cheating by going just under. He goes, that's the rule.
That's how it works.
That's what it is. Hello, Mike. All right, here we go. Let me
Hey, gang.
share. All right, watch videos. All right, let's see the order of these videos because there's one of them that we want to see in order. All right, and that is, here we go. And that is, we want to start with the Jack 8 suited. Are you Jack 8 suited? Let's see. Yep. All right. We're in the right order. Here we go. So on the button, the lovely Jack 8 suited folds to us. We are, of course, going to open this. We open to 2.5. How low a Jack are you guys opening on the button?
Suited?
I think you can open all the way
Yeah,
down to like
suited.
Jack 5.
I think this is as low as I go.
Okay.
Technically, I think Jack 5 suited is the lowest.
Yeah, you can GTO, you can go Jack 5 and mix in Jack 4 even.
I don't open that live,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
online I would.
Okay. So
Yeah,
there we
get in
go.
any suited jack, depending on the players in the blinds.
Sure, yeah, you can go any two cards depending on the suit play there. But I was just
Exactly.
pointing out GTO land just for one look of it in the 2.5 solution. This is your button opening range with jacks, just so you've seen it. Jack 4 mixes.
Yeah,
There
too
we go.
tight. You're right.
I know. That's yeah. So good. I think you can certainly add Jack 7 and Jack 6, Larry. Happily
Agreed.
button. Okay. Especially
Well,
with
not in our games though, because when you're opening to a big size, you don't want to open those
that's true.
cards.
That's true. If you're going to be opening 5x, what's the 5x open? Mike.
Probably. I
Can
don't
you look that one up
remember.
for us? 5x on the button. All right. But anyway, and then I'll go on with this. So we get called. We get a good flop.
It's an all right one.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. He checks. We bet just over a third. He raises.
You gotta fold.
Interesting.
I just call.
We are way ahead, or way behind, right? And most of the time we're way ahead.
He only folds out his worst hands when you
Yeah.
raise,
Yeah.
and
It's interesting though, because it's hard to see where the bluffs are. Maybe 5, 6, 6, 7.
Sure.
could just be it's wide versus wide. This looks good for me. I'm gonna put more money. I'm gonna
Do
try and
that.
bluff him.
Yep, exactly. Let's let him try to bluff again. Queen. Well, he is not,
If this was live, I would be starting to be concerned.
Yeah,
I am
you
concerned,
you
but we're
can
not
be
folding.
concerned. Yeah,
Not
for sure.
folding,
Right.
but I'd be thinking, okay, but there's a ton of eights that you beat still.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the river is going to make one fewer 8 that I beat. Not a very common 8, but it is one fewer. All right, so there we are. We are happily. Okay, so now we beat the 8 deuce, probably doesn't have, 8-3 probably doesn't have, 8-6 easily has, 8-7, 8-9, 8-10. So that's 4 8s we beat. Of the ones that you could easily have king 8, queen 8, jack 8 that we split with, and some ace 8. ace eight doesn't have to three bet. So it's 4-4 of the eights.
So you
let's
talked,
see
did
what
you
he
say
does.
9-8? Did you say 9-8, 7-8?
Yeah.
6-8?
Yeah, 9-8, 7-8, 6-8 are the ones that we expect him to play. He might play 8-5, which beats us. He might play 8-4, which beats us. He probably doesn't play 8-deuce and 8-3, or at least not very often.
Now, if you add in any of the offsuit branches, which you probably should, you're going to get a few more combos.
Oh yeah.
But on equal
Good.
side, oh, so you're saying add in the offsuit of the high ones and not the offsuit of the low ones. Give him 8-6 suited, but not 8-6 offsuit.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say you can give
No,
him
I'd keep
8-6
him in.
offsuit.
Right, but that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But that's an equal amount. So he has an equal amount. If you give him 8-6 offsuit and also ace-8 offsuit, both in the offsuit branch, then he has 4-8s, 4x8s and 4x small eights that we beat. So we're right in the middle.
Yeah.
So we are
Did he check to
marginally
you on the
less
river?
than eights. What?
Sorry, did he check to you on the river?
We haven't done the river yet.
Oh,
That's why.
that's a
That's
check.
why.
Okay.
That's why. That's why on the turn, I don't raise his turn bet.
No, yeah, you should.
At this point, I think it's very likely you have an 8. I think that an 8 is very likely now. Also pocket 4s. And I beat half the 8s I beat and half the 8s I lose to. So with that in mind, call seems right.
Mhm.
Okay, 5 comes and he checks the river.
I don't
Okay, what does he
think,
do?
I don't think we can, well, I don't think we can
Question.
check that.
5 brings in the flush.
It does.
So some 8s might check here. They might bet.
Pretty tight check back.
We don't think that he ever has queen 8 now. We think he ever has 4-4 or queen. We don't think he ever has 4-4, 8-4 or queen 8 now. Those are out of his range. But we think that he could have 6-8, 7-8, 9-8, and 10-8. And we think he can have ace-8, king-8, and now and jack-8, queen-8 we took out of his range.
Yeah,
So now more than we
this
lose.
Is he
removes his
the
value entirely.
is he the type to slow play jacks, queens, and kings?
Now
This
He
basically
wouldn't be.
removes all of his
we have a
bluffs.
note on him. We have a note on, but we don't think so.
So, okay.
So
This removes
I
all
think
of his
this is,
bluffs.
I
Bet
think,
thin.
I think if you give him offsuit combos of 9-8 and 8-7,
Mhm.
it's a pretty clear shot.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think it is now. Now that I look at it, because the check takes the queen out of his range, and it used to be ace-8, king-8, queen-8, and 6-8, 7-8, 9-8, 10. Actually, even then, yeah, there's more that I beat. Now there's even more I beat. I should have bet. All right, yeah. I did bet. I
Oh,
did
you
bet. I bet a weird number.
Nice. I like the weird number.
I bet a pseudo jam. This is probably stupid.
I think it's funny.
And he folds.
No, I think you're right, Scotty. I think it's kind of dumb. If
I
you're
think it's
gonna,
dumb.
you gotta do it all.
Yeah.
Oh, I just think
This
it's funny.
doesn't, this doesn't do anything for you.
No, this is dumb. And I think I know why I did. I think I knew why I did it. There's a big red 0.5 button, and I pushed that and I looked at the size and I went, that's a good size for how far I am ahead. And then I didn't look and go, I have 14 behind. It's the same number. I get all the same calls. Everything's the same.
Mhm.
And you get
He
a
calls.
calls.
Yeah, it's 10-8. It's 10-8.
Boom.
Suited. So good for him. It was suited. We have massive respect for his play. It was good. We like his play. And I left $14 on the table that I never should have.
I don't like his play. He
No,
needs
I
to
left
continue on the
$28
river.
on the table. What don't you like about his play?
I think he can still continue to bet on the river. The backdoor gets there.
Yep. But he has to also consider what do I call with on the river?
That's true.
Am I now not going to call any more over pairs to this final bet? I don't hate it. Yeah. I wish he had jammed because then I wouldn't have to think about my size because I was calling and then I wouldn't have made the 14 mistake. But yeah, that's a mistake. I liked the chips. All right. His name is Hefe. He may come up again just to see that. All right. Just for fun, Let's do it. Let's see
What does
how,
that come to?
how this comes in any differently. All right. So we are on,
I'm betting you check behind on the river is my thinking.
all right, let's see.
Is what this will say, but
All right, we're gonna be in 2.5 land, which is,
Mike, do you think it's check or jam, or do you think it's just full check?
if there's like some kind of mixed type situation, I think it's going to be check or jam. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I would think.
all right, here we go. And button raise. There he is with 10-8 suited. Some
He's
raises,
supposed to three bet.
nothing wrong. Yeah, he mixes, nothing wrong with that. He doesn't take it this time. Flop is 8-8-4. Club diamond heart.
And
Here we go.
I think the reason that I think it's probably going to check behind on the river, assuming we get there with all this action the way it goes, is Solver's not going to have those offsuit stuff that we included.
Right.
Yeah, so it should be his range should be condensed to a lot more strong hands, and a lot of his bluffs actually you get there too.
Yeah. So we're gonna call it one. We're gonna take the small. We did two, which is halfway between these two sizes, which is just fine. It mixes those two sizes, right? That's what those colors are. Yeah, it doesn't go to the. It doesn't go to 5.5 much at all. All right, so we bet the. We'll call it the 1.4. He jumps in with his 10-8 suited with a nice little check raise with his 10-8 of spades. His check raise size is most often smaller. So to get to the SPR that we were at, let's make my bet bigger. There we go. Now his 10-8 suited check raises less often, but when it does, it goes to 9.4, and that's good. So now we get closer to the SPR.
What
9
eights does it want to check us?
Let's take a look. Back to you.
So if we look just at trips,
Just at trips.
All of them.
All of them with the king more than the ace. That's funny.
yeah.
That's what it always does.
I was just
It does?
curious where the
Does it more than
threshold
ace?
was.
Not
So
always, but usually like it's similar to the way when you see bet the flops with your weaker, with more kings than you do aces, because
Right.
typically you have more
Okay.
showdown with your aces.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just a similar theory, I think.
So his threshold is having an 8, but his max, but it doesn't become the majority until the queen 8, king 8. And so with that in mind, if he was actually playing this way, which he wasn't, the check that we were considering on the river wasn't, or at least on the turn wasn't terrible, because he is overweighted in this and underweight. He's underweighted in the ones that we beat and overweighted in the ones that beat us. That's interesting. All right, here we go. So he does that raise, and we are here with our jack 8, and our jack 8 goes, oh, I'm sorry. Let's call. Then we get the queen of diamonds. Queen of diamonds. And in GTO world, he continues with his 10-8, not pure, but he does it, and he bet pot. And that is a perfectly cromulent thing to do. So there's his pot bet. And against the pot size bet, our jack 8, now we have no raises. Just against this line, we do not raise.
Mhm.
That's fun to
Seems
see.
right.
That's really fun to see. I cannot think of a board that a situation where the imposition player has 0 raises like this. All right, so we do that. And then the river comes, the 5 of it doesn't matter.
I was thinking at this point, I was also thinking this would be a very exploitable like fold. Like I know there's no way Solver's ever folding it,
Yeah.
but like you're just like kind of crushed, right? They mostly
Guys,
have the better hands, and they have appropriate bluffs in this solve.
right. But I
Whereas,
thought he was doing, but I also thought that this existed, I said, this is the 8s that I beat also, but I did not picture this thing that he only has this much 10-8 and this much of these. I didn't
Okay.
picture that. So while this might not be true, this isn't true either,
Yeah, right.
you know? this world. All right. And he's also got this ace eight offsuit here. A lot of that. This dwarfs all that. All right. But he checks. And in this bizarre line, we don't bet. But this is bizarre because he never checks there. Okay. So the only insight I got from solver was that the way I counted on my fingers was wrong. I needed to move the knuckles of my fingers for the size of that.
What if
And
he
we don't know
jams?
that he does it. That's assuming he plays like solver. You were going to say?
What if he jams?
Well, he's supposed to jam, and we're supposed to. I'm sorry, he's supposed to
Yeah.
jam. He's
Right.
supposed
Now
to
what if,
jam. He's supposed to get a five of diamonds, and he's supposed to jam, and we are supposed to mix our eight.
yeah,
But the jack is the jack is good enough.
yeah, indifferent.
Yeah, it's indifferent, but it's mostly calling, and the 10 is indifferent but mostly folding, and the 8-6 blocks the straight. So that's why a kicker as bad as a 6 gets in there, because it blocks a straight. Oh, wait a minute. Is this just diamonds? No, this can't be diamonds. This is just a straight. Yes, this is a straight. This is all diamonds. So all the flushes call. The eights, all the eights are shook. Except for ace eight. Ace eight is the only happy eight. Okay. Anything else? Mike, do you want to exploitatively fold population here on the jam?
I don't know, man. I know he'd be struggling, like, because what else is he doing this with other than those weaker eights, right?
Right. And if you,
But unless we include like all the
9,
goofy
10 of diamonds.
bullshit that
Oh,
sometimes they get here with that we oftentimes don't include in
Right.
what we think is their range.
Right. In a sensible range, 6, 7 of diamonds is here. 6, 7 of hearts, 6, 7 of clubs, but especially 6, 7 of diamonds because it could continue on the turn when it picked up equity. And it beats us.
Yeah.
So
I was
there's
gonna
that.
say is the way
Only
he
one
checks,
combo
all of his
there.
bluffs got there. So he has an 8.
Well, so what are the good bluffs here? The good bluffs are 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 9.
hmm
5, and also 5, 7-ish.
And a lot of those are gonna have backdoor diamonds whenever they continue on the
Yeah.
turn. So pretty much all of them got there. So when he checks, he's super weighted towards an 8 on the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah. And when he jams, not a lot of his
He's
bluff. Yeah. But is he overvaluing an 8?
That's true.
Against my assumed aces, kings, and ace king. Because what else could I have other than aces, kings, and ace king? Aren't those the only hands people can have?
Yeah, it's impossible for anybody to play anything else.
Yes, exactly.
Like Jack 8 suited, where do you get off opening that shit?
Exactly. Right. In a pot this big. How could you have Jack 8 suited in a pot this big? That makes no sense. But I agree. This is lazy and hit and button pushing. If I didn't have a button and I had to type in a number and I looked at it that way, the number would have been 57. So
I was thinking if you were to make a bet, you could do like some weird, like little itty bitty tiny bet,
you could do that, yeah.
and then they can spaz with their spazzy bluffs
Right.
or call you with, some other mergy type stuff. But if they have an 8, then you need to jam. But if they're going to be like, oh shit, I got here with, 4-5 or,
Ace
you know,
4.
something else weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that happened. All right. Then this happened. Ace 9 in the big blind. All right. So here's the first thing. So he's going to fold. So ace 9 is a fold to a raise from the hijack, right?
Ace 9 offsuit to a min raise?
Yeah. No. Before we look at the min raise, ace 9 just in our own heads is always a fold to a hijack raise.
Not necessarily to min raise. I'm not
Not
sure.
to a min raise. It's not. That's the idea. That's what I was pointing out. Was
this.
Did
I
I,
would
did
not
I
have
spoil
this.
you? Did I spoil your reveal?
You did, but it's also,
God
but you're
damn,
also the one,
Mike.
but if not for you, I wouldn't know this. So hijack,
Mike's always
I
got
was
to ruin the fun.
ready to fold with this picture in my
Right,
head,
right.
right? This was the picture I had in my head,
Yeah.
that it's ace 10 is the bottom,
Mhm.
right?
Do you think about it like that too? Like when you're thinking about ranges, is it just a picture in your head that you see?
Yep.
As I say, because I've heard other people talk about it in different ways, and I can only imagine ranges with just in my head. I can't think about like, well, I opened Jack two plus King two suited plus Ace two suited plus or
Sometimes
whatever the hell it is.
Well,
sometimes I
so
think of it verbally. Oh, go on, Larry,
no, this is Adrian. So
Adrian.
the way I think of it is simply this: is he opening any? If I'm calling, I have to be calling better. Is he opening anything worse on the unsuited ace side than ace nine? Is he opening ace seven? How many pips do you want to give yourself?
Right,
If he's opening ace seven, ace eight, then you can play ace nine,
right.
right?
But that
But you
isn't
can
true
also
against
open the other ones because of the implied odds that those
yeah,
hands have.
yeah. But Adrian, that logic works for a 3 big blind bet and a bigger, but it doesn't work for the 2 big
Mhm.
blind bet, because you can be worse than him and still call off, because remember, you're putting in 1/4 of the money.
Okay. So then, following that logic, what is the bottom of his range, of his open range? Ace 10?
His
And how
hijack
many?
is, okay.
Technically, it's supposed to be a lot of suited aces.
This is his hijack range.
Are you,
Ace nine,
was your
nothing
ace
lower.
nine, was your ace nine suited or unsuited?
All
Unsuited.
suit.
I was never
Okay, so
folding.
you're not comparing unsuited to suited. You're
No,
comparing
No, no.
unsuited to
offsuit to
unsuited,
offsuit.
right?
Right.
So offsuit to offsuit, right? So if he's opening, ace 10 and you can go one pip down, then yeah, you can play ace nine.
Yeah, but look at that. But he's opening he's opening ace 9 from the hijack. And I get to call all the way down to ace 8
Mm.
because of the discount
Well,
I
he's opening ace five too.
uh he's
One,
not.
two, three, four. Well, he is
It's
opening
a
ace five.
That's
it's
him.
a wheel ace. No, it's a wheel ace, so you can
So
play it
will
as
is.
well. Yeah, the ace
So
five
go
offsuit.
back. Yeah, go back to
This
his
is his this is his GTO range.
that's his GTO range. Okay,
That's his
yeah.
GTO range. And look at
Mhm.
and I get to call much wider because it's 2.
Oh wow,
So
because it's
push
two.
this,
Yeah.
right. But now let's push this up to 3. And
Hmm.
then your idea becomes the important idea. Here's his hijack range. He's got some ace 9 and a little bit of ace 5 because how big he goes. And look at what I have to do from the big blind when he does it. Because of how much more I have to put in.
Yeah, you gotta save some
I
pips.
can't even play the ace 9 against him.
Ace 10, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So that min raise is a magical thing. There's an inflection point. And if we look
How
at
does
it,
it? How does it react to the under the gun open?
uh, there's no solution for
Sim.
your spot. Why don't you shut up? There's no solution. There's no solution to your spot. Okay, here we go. 2.25 there. Now let's make them 2.25. There they are. Why are you doing this, you weirdo? Okay, so going back, your question of the end of the gun in the 2, if we put him all the way in the end of the gun, we still call. So his
It'd
under
be
the gun
similar, yeah.
range to 2, he only opens ace 10. We still call ace 9 because of that and a little bit of ace 8. We're willing to take the worst of it when we're only putting in 1 big blind. But if you move it up to just 2.25, just a quarter of a big blind more, which we're now going to do by doing this. There,
Yeah, be
now you
better.
got it. You just
Now
go
you
to
gotta be better.
2.25, and I think now he still has the ace 9, big blind, is equal.
Yeah.
None of the lower ones, right?
Better or equal. Yeah.
Yeah, better and equal, right? Better and equal, of course.
Yeah.
And then you go up to
Definitely better.
2.5,
And now you gotta be better.
now 2.5, right? Hijack raise 2.5. He is raising ace 10 and some ace 9, and the big
Mhm.
blind, we are not calling except for ace 10.
Ace 10. Yeah.
Better. So this
Okay.
is the range that you learned. These are the ranges you learned and the logic you got, and they're totally right, which is against the 2.5 and the 3, and certainly the 3.5, you need to be better. Against the 2, you just need to be competitive.
Mm.
So I do it because Mike showed me the 2 big blind ranges a while ago. And although I don't have them memorized, I have a sense of I got to be wider about this this slipped in. I probably would have folded ace 8 here. I probably wouldn't have known to. I probably would not have done this.
I wouldn't have done this. I think I would have folded ace eight. Ace five, I probably would have folded ace five too, because this doesn't come in. This ace five, I only think of as a raise, but that's worth learning. Okay, now that we've learned that, let's play on and have good things happen. All right. We call. Well,
Gutter.
I got a gutter and I have one other thing.
2 overs.
I have a gutter and 2 overs and one other thing. I have a big blind range. He has a hijack range.
Sure.
Fuck that guy. Check. And I was going for the check raise and he checks behind. All right. I was going for a check raise, by the way. Now what?
Hmm.
How often does
Okay.
your ace X win at showdown?
Not often. Technically, in theory, he's supposed to check a lot of his aces that are better than yours there anyways.
Yeah.
So,
We don't expect to see a lot of pairs from him that didn't bet this flop. Not to say that GTO doesn't bet them, but we expect them to bet their big pairs because of the draws that are out there. We expect them to bet their small pairs because they're vulnerable. We expect them to bet a lot of their pairs.
So you win often here. I think you win
Yeah.
enough to check here.
Okay. And it is a jack, which is not good for me. So I check. And he bets 2.3.
do we want to bluff?
Do we want to bluff? Do we want to call?
I-
Are we all, are any of us folding to this?
I don't
I mean,
even fold.
I think you. Is your hand good enough?
I think because you have the ace and you have that gut shot, you have to call.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you have to.
But getting
Yeah.
back to your check raise idea,
I was about to say I like a raise here.
I think we want. I almost feel like this hand is like in that weird spot where it's either check raise or fold, but there's no call.
That's what I was kind of thinking. Is I
I mean, in solver, even in solver, we see there's a certain class of hands that are check raise are that are check raise or fold.
I think if you had 2
Like this.
overs and a gutter, I think you can call.
It's giving me a free AI solve. Let's use it.
No, it's not. It only has one free A solver.
Oh.
It's one texture,
Oh, okay.
one
So-
board.
Okay, well, let's see what happens if we do this. Let's see when it says it. Okay, setup.
All right, it's not gonna work. Unless they change
Well,
that.
Let's create a solution. Let's just hit it and just hit buttons and see what happens.
So what? So let's say if we check raise here, what
Okay,
can we get?
upgrade
him-
to elite. Or try a free flop. Oh, I get one free flop. Well, screw you. I'm done. All right, there. Okay, so we'll do it at 2. Well, we can't do it at 2.5 because we don't have this there. So that's it. We can't solve this at 2, right? But we can give me ace 9 suited and have it be the wrong suit. Let's do that. Just for fun. Hijack raise. Big blind calls with his, oh wait, no, there's a sliver of ace 9 offsuit. There it is. Board is 5 of diamonds, 3 of clubs, 2 of spades. There we go.
No, I'm curious how much donkey you have.
Donk! Just donk it. That would have been fun. Okay, but you don't have to donk your ace 9, and we didn't. Now, if he bets small, which is what we expected, let us check raise that ace 9. He bets small. Come on, ace 9. Boom. Lots of check raising. So we did that's what we intended to do. He didn't let us. Ace 9 suited, not a lot of
Does it
check.
like to check raise more than it does call here?
That's for
I
that
see
one.
the numbers.
But when he bets bigger, our ace 9 offsuit check raises there. Same thing against that. If he bets this big, we
She
stop
should be
check raising,
betting much bigger.
start folding. And we never call the ace nine, never a call. Ace nine suited is a call, which is weird. That's just weird. Because the ace nine of hearts is the same as ace nine offsuit. And it does a little bit of calling,
Yeah,
but
that's a good way to put it.
whatever.
All
So-
right, so
It went check, check. The turn was the jack of spades. Now can we donk? After not donking? We can with a spade. And without a spade, can we? Let's go big.
it doesn't, it really likes to do it like that.
Let's go full height. Nope, you need a spade. You need a spade.
So you just spade,
Otherwise,
blocking
check.
continues and also being able to rep the flush.
Right. So we check. He bets small. He bets 2.3. 50%. And ace nine
No, we're out.
does some folding. Yeah, you can fold, you can call. You can, and our combo is a lovely heart diamond fold. Right?
I was wrong about the quality of this one.
Yeah. I thought that I played this so bad when
Can we go
Yes.
back to the solve real quick and look at something?
Yes.
So let's go to filters. And then we can see at the bottom,
Hmm.
we don't have any trash hands that we're check raising. We're just folding them.
Mhm.
Let's look at weak hands and good hands and see where our check raises come from. So if you click on both of those, weak hands, good hands, and you can see our check raises are coming from top pair. And they're coming from, the most interesting one looks like it's king six.
Yeah, let's take out good
Yes.
hands now. Let's take out the top pair.
All right,
Weak
just
hands.
weak
Oh no,
hands.
these are weekends. Fives are weekends.
So it's the ace five that's doing it.
Why am I getting to see? Why are jacks there? Weak hands. Oh, there we go. Now I've only got weak hands now, right?
Yeah, we can, so it likes to do it with the top pair or the
Hmm.
middle, now the second pair.
Yeah, second pair. And the
Ace
six.
five is, I think, the most, I think maybe I could find ace five. Because it's also drawing to the four and it's got an over. I think I like ace five there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So we do a lot of folding here. And I, in game, thought that this was a huge mistake when I did this. And now I feel okay. Now that's okay. All right. I
Good
folded.
fold. Good fold, sir.
I thought it was I thought it was way too nitty. When I watched myself do it, went, ugh. How about I don't show anybody this? All right. Okay. Pocket deuces, never loses. All right. So we'll be raising this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course we will. We raise, we get called. We will flop, not a set.
This is always a tough spot. I think on a paired board, I like betting more because he has less pairs.
Okay. I accept that logic. I check. And I take the same logic and do that instead.
Oh, excellent. I like it.
I decided to go full jujitsu.
Now I have a question for you because I don't know the right answer,
Neither do I.
but you guys are deeper.
We are
Does
super
that
deep.
mean that the hawk should check raise larger? I don't know.
It's not a small check raise. It is. I'm going 5x.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good sign.
It's a pot size. It's
I actually
pot
like a
size, but
call here.
it's a healthy one.
I
not
like a
huge.
call. It's gonna
Mhm.
stab with a bunch of bullshit.
Right. All right. So we don't have a 200. We can't solve 200 in peak. Does anybody have a 200 solve in the wizard we can use? If not, I'll throw this into peak while we wait.
No,
All right, small
Yeah.
blind. Here we go. Reset.
I'm in camp call or raise a little bit smaller.
Okay, we raise. We get called. The flop is Jack 4-4.
like instead of pot, we go like B50 raise, so like
Okay.
the smaller, if there were two,
It was, I think my raise was a B70. But yeah, okay.
What do we do? I mean, we filter in his strong hands that were going to be hard to get to fold.
So
So we
here we go.
call and see how he reacts on the turn.
So deuces are a complete argument for all the reasons you'd think. Checking and betting make total sense, and a little bit of big betting like that.
Which we're doing with our entire range.
Yeah. So this works. This works. We do this all across our range. This works fine. We chose to check this time. Check. He goes 1.5. And now the deuces do not do what Scotty did.
So where are your check? So your check raises are coming from
Weirdo.
fours,
Diamond club.
and they're coming from some random overpairs that are kind of blocking the jack.
Yeah. So there it is. So when you raise 0.5% of the time, it's to 6, but that's because it's pre-programmed in. So
So I mean, it thinks that you just have showdown in this wide configuration.
yep. Yeah. Not solver approved.
All right. So
Right. But is it Brian approved?
I disagree with it only because of the fact that he's going to stab so much with bullshit and you're going to filter a lot of his stronger hands into the turn when you do this that are going to be hard to get to fold on the
Right.
river. So when you just call here and then see his reaction on the turn, you now get to decide whether you want to try and run a bluff or you want to just take your showdown. Because if he goes again, if
We're
he bets
folding.
again, you probably have to fold. And when you raise here and he calls, you're not loving it at
Yeah, you
all.
can continue. Yeah.
So let's take our showdown for a little bit and then see what the hell he does on the turn and whether we have, because if we call here and then he checks or he bets super tiny, now I would start to consider running a bluff on the turn. Because if he bets
You
super
mean on the
small
river?
into it, or even on the turn, I would consider
No,
check
because we
raising.
don't
But
know
then,
what we can't bluff the turn because if we call here, we have to check. We're not gonna dunk the turn, are we? You wanted to see
no,
whether
no, no, no. So I'm saying we call here, check the turn, and if he bets really small or checks, so if he bets really small, we probably have
we can
we
check raise.
we can check raise because we want to fold out fives, sixes, sevens, stuff like
Okay.
that aren't super strong and aren't going to go huge, and then. And then on the river, we would just check through if he just checks again and then call and bluff catch the river because he's going to stab with a bunch of bullshit on the river.
Right. So let's do that. We check, we just call. The turn is a random card. There we go. That's random. We check. If he bets small, which is going to be in this case, pot is 10, pot is 9. So we're going to go really small. Now you're right. Now to start thinking about bluffing, calling, and folding. They do everything. So yeah,
That's what that would be my thought process
right.
for it.
He goes to 5. We just fold. He
Yeah.
checks behind, and the river, it's the random river, the 8 of clubs. We go there, and now we're in the small blind, and we do sorry,
you're on
small.
big blind.
We're in the small blind. We do not turn our deuces into a bluff on this run out. Let's change this to a more bricky thing. Let's go 7 of hearts. We don't turn them into a bluff on the 7 of hearts. Now let's not give it an ace here. Ace being the weird card that he.
Yeah, that is a weird card.
Yeah, let's give it a.
King would technically probably be the worst card for him.
Let's
I
go
think.
king. We check the turn. He checks behind. The river is now the 7 of hearts. And we turn 2s into a bluff. No, it just goes, you have equity.
Yeah.
All right.
I just think in this situation, wide versus wide, he's going to stab a
Yeah.
lot with bullshit. So
Yep.
we might as well just call off and
Yeah.
then figure out what to do on the turn.
Yep. Yep. So since there are only 13 seconds left, I think we know what happened. Either he re-raised or he folded. That's what happened. So 13
Jams or
seconds left
folds.
for the
Let's
other,
see.
and he just
There you
folded.
go.
Great.
Yeah, it works.
All right.
You
We
missed
don't hit that.
value from his bluff on the turn, though.
I did.
Yeah, but Scotty,
That's
so here's what I don't hate about like a raise like that is they're gonna stab like a bunch of crap. And
Mhm.
your raises, it's kind of when you think about like the hybrid properties of it, you are good, you can get worse hands to call, and you might get better hands to fold. That would be probably not very likely. Like, 'cause I mean, what are his
Threes,
better
fives.
hands? Like threes, fives, sixes. He's gonna like maybe start to think about. But then, I mean, is he really gonna fold like sevens, eights, nines, that type of thing? Probably not, but
No,
maybe.
maybe.
But you do get some worse hands to call, and if he folds 6, 7, you're probably doing pretty good, right? If he folds,
Every hand that folds
any
has
hand, exactly, yeah,
every hand that folds has about 25% chance of winning
yeah.
of that by the river if he gets there. And if he checks behind on the turn, then he gets to the river. So it's not hard for him to get there. All right. Let's have ace seven suited. And let's plug in the computer and let's of course raise this, no question. So
Yes,
we
sir.
raise. Yep, easy raise. We get called in the wrong place. And by that I mean we get called in the place that the solver's range is probably not his range. This is probably a big blindish range. But we don't know that. That's what
Yeah,
makes this the wrong place. This is Hefe.
it could always
Remember
be
Hefe
any
from
two
before?
cards.
Hefe was the guy we had the 10-8 against. We had Jack 8 against his 10-8.
So we can make a slight assumption that he's going to play a lot of suited cards from just going to
Mhm.
call with that are lower.
Yeah. Oh, we just went multi-way.
Nope, there we go.
Oh, there's an ace in the door. That's nice. We have a middling ace, so we're probably
C7 in the door.
going to check behind with this ace, right? Not every flop, but there's a lot of flops we're going to check
Most
behind.
likely.
Not that one though.
That one we're not doing it.
Man, that was the
Gotcha.
dance of the seven veils, wasn't it?
That was beautiful. All right, so here we go. Check, check, size.
Uh, s- 3 or 2.5.
Three. All right,
Yeah,
Adrian,
I think small is fine.
what size do you like, Adrian?
What do we go here? Raise, call, multi-way, A7, 6. That's really interesting. 6, 7. Um, 50%, I think, between small and big. It's like a catch-all, I guess.
Okay. Now, I would default to betting small, but because it's an ace
Mhm.
high board, that's pretty damn dry. My
Mhm.
thought is they're continuing with aces and not much else. So
Right.
let's go. Let's see
Yeah,
what I
Right.
do.
that's
I would
true.
not be surprised to see a bet of 5 here.
Yeah, that's actually true. I didn't think about that. That's better.
If there was one more high card, then and I had A7, then I would pound it. But
Yeah.
here, with those two low cards, it's 33 to 55, something like that.
Okay. Let's see what I do. I just default to the DTO small bet.
Mhm.
Now
But I'm
that
going
you
to
said
follow
that though, I now dislike line response and I do like the bigger bet here.
because what changed your mind?
Because they're not going to get a ton to continue, and let's just stack in money against their ace that we have dominated.
Right. Okay. Great. And there's our call. Big blind.
Mhm.
Okay,
right.
what is his range here?
We are assuming we have the best hand, right?
Yes.
By
Yeah,
far.
especially after you went small.
Yeah.
Not yet, not yet. He's not capped yet.
Eh,
Okay, so
6, 7, 4, 5, 8.
Yep. 5-8. 5-8 got there. That's true.
3, 5.
He checks.
okay, what is his range here? And is he inelastic? I mean, there's a lot of ace X that just isn't going to fold yet.
Yep.
And then this brought in a backdoor club draw, but it could have had 8, 9 of clubs. That's going to be completely inelastic.
Mhm.
10, 9, you really shouldn't be here with 10, 9 of clubs. The gutter. Yeah, I would go pretty close to pot here.
Okay. How about exactly pot? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
We go pot. We have a big pot button. It's easy to push. We push our big pot button. He calls. Break.
The big weed button.
Big weed button, and it's a club, and it's a 6.
Okay. I don't hate, this is not bad because,
What does he do?
Let's see what he does first.
yeah, let's see what he does.
Checks.
Okay, I think you have the best hand a lot of the time. Now, what do we do? He
Mhm.
raises off a lot of his 2 pairs. He raises off a lot of his sets on the turn. He shouldn't have a ton of flush draws getting to the turn, except for ones that he can't have ace high flush draws, and
You
he
have eight,
can't.
nine,
He
something
can
like
have
that.
8, 9. Yeah, he can have 8, 9. So he has basically one hand that we're
6,
worried
yeah.
about, but we think we're ahead of 90% of his hands.
I think he could have
Oh,
8, 9, 8, 10, and 9, 10. I think all of
You
those
can have
could.
8, 10, you can have
I
9,
think all
10.
of those. I
Jack,
think those. I think
yeah,
all of those
yeah,
could have called the flop, and then the club's
yeah.
going to turn. So, of those, yeah, I think you can have those.
okay. So what do we want to give? What do we want to target here? We're gonna get
You could
raised
have
off
7,
by
8.
all those
You could easily
hands.
have 7, 8 of clubs. Easy 7, 8 of clubs. That's an easy hand to get to here with.
A lot of those hands are gonna lead on the turn, though.
All those hands are
Now,
going on the turn.
so you have, I would say you can go to, so basically we're just targeting an ace then.
Yep.
Ace 10, ace
So
9,
how
ace
much
10,
is
something like that, ace jack.
an ace is gonna get slightly scared by the board pairing and a club coming in. So I think you could just go, I think still like 30 to pot.
I like when you say that he's going to be a little scared, and then you come up and say, so you can still go pot. You don't go, oh, so you have to go half pot. He's a little scared, so go pot instead of 2x pot.
Yeah.
I like that you said that. So we
Yeah,
go
he's still gonna call that. I mean, he's not gonna fold an ace to pot.
no, and once he calls, once we don't get raised,
You should be ahead every time.
we should be fine against ace 3.
There we go.
There you go.
Boom.
That's a lot
There
of
we go.
volume from an ace 3. So this is the guy, and so now 2 hands later. So he's got 56 left. This is Rehance. And 2 hands later, this happens. Here we go. Ace queen. He's still there with his 65. Same thing he had before.
He's a wreck.
Raise it. And we get 3-bet.
All right.
So this hand becomes interesting at this lower stack depth.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing.
Oh, yeah,
So
It
that's
becomes
50
worth
rates.
more.
Yeah. hmm
The reverse implied or less, I think is what drives that.
hmm
Where did he 3-bet from? What position the button?
He's a button.
Yeah.
So button's gonna be a tight. You generally, at least live with rec players, they're not gonna 3-bet as lightly from the button
Right.
because
Because they can call.
they get absolute position and they can just call.
Yeah.
So he
Sorry,
should
guys.
have stronger hands, but I think ace queen's still too strong to just. I mean, you can't really flat it. You have to 3-bet it or fold it. I think,
Right.
and you
All
have to 3-bet it
All right. Good. So Brian says
or
3 bet.
4-bet or fold.
Right.
4-bet or
Brian,
fold.
Brian
Sorry.
says 4 better fold. Mike, I assume you're on team 4 better fold. I know you, right?
Yeah, I think this is a 4-better fold.
Okay. Mike's attorney, Larry.
My name is not Mike though.
No. You have his power of attorney, so that's fine. Right. So 4-bet. All right. So 4-bet size.
Well, he should be weighted towards stronger hands, so let's go a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Let's go to 20,
20.
21.
All right. 21. All right. So if we 4-bet to 21, what are we actually doing there?
He's gonna, yeah,
Put
he's
in-
putting his whole stack in
Yeah,
basically.
you're shoving.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the SPR one on. You'll have an SPR of 1 on
Right.
river on flop.
So
So
if
it's
you look at
awkward
the
as fuck.
effective stack, do we have any 4-bets? Given the effective stack, do we have any 4-bets that aren't shoves?
Actually, no, you don't.
In theory.
So what, if you put it to 40, he's putting in how much of his stack he has to put, or you have to put the 20, he puts 13 in, he's got 50 behind. So it's still technically, he could just call your 4-bet without jamming, without it being a mistake.
21 is, oh, it's not his remaining stack, it's his original stack. He started with 65. So as long as we're below 20. Okay.
Yeah, I think you
this is
do. I think
remaining
you have
stack.
I think you have 4-bets to 20.
Okay.
I know you
Because
do
when
it.
we
In
talk about
theory,
a
you do it
third-
75. You're shorter than that, but
Yeah, if he was at 40 bigs, after that, you would have to jam. But
Okay,
he has enough behind to just call without jamming.
all right. I
I
agree
think
with all that. Now, one question on the heuristic that if you put in a third of a third of the effective stack, you might as well jam. Just the math
Mhm.
of that. Is that that's a third of the effective stack at the beginning of the hand or at this moment? I think it's at the beginning of the hand, right?
Beginning of the hand.
Right. So I was wrong. I
But I
look
think it applies for when it four bets to the way that they think is
right.
that it's going to be okay. I'm putting the rest of my money in.
I mean, I
'Cause
think your
anyways,
four bet sizing in theory goes down. So you can choose to use like 18 here.
Yeah. Okay. And Mike, if you've got a 50, if you've got a 60, a 60 big blind pre-flop anywhere, let's take a look at that.
I have one open right now.
Okay, great. Yeah, yeah. Let's take a look at that size. It'll be 50 big blinds, but it's the same thing.
Okay. All
it'll
right.
be-
You want me to show it? If you stop sharing, I'll show it.
all right, I will stop sharing.
This is 50 big blinds.
And Dean has been typing in notes that I didn't see till now because I had the,
So this is 50 bigs.
all right.
You're in like hijack versus button,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, I am,
So 50 bigs.
I'm low jack. I'm low jack.
All right.
And I raised to 2.5, but it's 50 bigs is a 2, but that's fine.
Okay.
He goes to 6. And this is good because the SPR is now closer because he was actually at 65. This is great. All right.
So it has this smaller sizing, like you see here. It raises to 12.
And it
Wow.
calls. It does a lot of calling.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it
I
does some
figured ace
calling.
queen has to. Yeah, that's the bottom of your range.
But-
So you have to call the bottom of your range.
But
wow, it
what's
does call.
Call and
curious here
raise.
is that we
Yeah.
don't have folds with ace queen. If this
Yeah,
was
I
100
thought
bigs,
it
we would
was
have
raise or
folds.
fold, but just at this stack depth.
At the stack, at like 100, you're gonna fold, but at 50, you're not.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
still like the raise
is-
better.
So at 75, it begins to fold.
Right.
Yeah.
And then at 100, we lose
At
all.
100, you fold.
call.
Yeah.
But we do the same amount of raising, interesting in each one. It was about half of it. Yeah, now. Oh,
Well,
we still
some.
got it.
Still
Okay.
folding.
Makes
And
it
then let's just
awesome,
do
yeah.
one more for the fun of it.
Oh, crank it up to 200 now.
Yeah,
And
now
now
it's
it's
you're
just
really,
a
now
four
you're
bet
just
fold.
folding. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, ace
slivers.
queen
Yeah,
is an
so I
interesting
would-
hand, right? Ace queen off is
I
an
was
interesting
gonna-
hand. It just its value changes drastically depending on stack size.
Stack size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
In tournaments, ace jack does that too.
all right, gotcha. So I'm with you all on that. Now I have one other question, which is now remembering this was 2 hands ago.
Yeah, so you think he's tilted?
Does that change your play at all?
Yeah,
This
good
happened
question.
2 hands earlier. And he didn't reload.
How? So the adjustments would be that he is. So what's the assumption? The assumption
Well,
is
you get
because
the
he's
assumption.
because he is sucked out on him that he's going to be more aggressive. Is that the
Well,
assumption?
you didn't suck out on him. You were ahead of him the whole
No.
time.
The
Yeah.
thing is, he lost a big pot.
And he's tired. Yeah, he's tired of playing passively, basically.
Right.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So now he's gonna pop back.
Fuck this.
So the argument
So-
is that this is a wider 3-bet range.
Wider
Yeah.
3-bet range.
Yeah.
Well, if this is a
and
wider 3-bet range, I think this would then get this in more to the 4-bet range. We would
Okay.
have ace queen would become more of a 4-bet against a wider 3-bet range.
Right. So that was my thought. And then I made the mistake mathematically. If I looked at that and I said, my 4-bet here is going to be to about 18 to
16,
20.
17.
That's what I thought it was going to be, 18 to 20. And he's got 60 left. So let's go. And if he folds anything, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't particularly want him to, I would like to be all in against ace 5 here, ace 6. That would be nice. But,
Eights.
but even with this, I don't mind him just folding out all his equity. That's okay. And when I'm behind, oh well, I screwed it up.
So would
I
you
told him-
rather do this with pocket aces then? Would you rather do like a small?
Yeah, because I don't want him, because with pocket aces, his range has very little equity against me.
What
Yes,
about
it-
ace queen suited?
I'm happy we do this with ace queen suited. Same thing.
Okay.
Ace
I
queen suited, it's a
don't need to
better
do it the same
call.
way.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering is if you'd
Yeah.
rather
It has
just
better
call with
post
ace queen
flop
suited.
playability out of position.
Yeah. But I think at this at this shorter depth, take a look. What does the ace queen suited do?
It's just I don't think it plays that much better when it's 60 big blinds deep.
Right. That's what I was
You
thinking.
know?
Does he have how much does he have to begin the hand?
He started with 65, but in the 50 big blind setup, what does ace queen suited do, Larry? In the 50 and the 75 both, because he's somewhere between
Call.
calling. Okay.
So if you just call, it's what 14 in the middle, and he's got so it's still SPR is 4.
Yeah.
A little bit more than 4. So I mean,
Oh,
or no, it's around 4.
All right.
When we get called,
Yeah. Or
We're
when
not
you
that-
call with ace queen suited is what I mean. Like if you call flat it, you're still at the 4 SPR. It doesn't really change the playability, I don't think.
and we're out of position, so if he had folded,
Yes.
that's fine. All right. So
I like this.
he calls. So at this moment, we think that his range is all the pocket pairs that he did this with. And he just went, fuck it. If he had a pocket pair, his suited broadways are probably not folding. Obviously, his ace king that has a speed, ace jack suited, that kind of suited Broadway, I think in his mind is calling here. The question is he folding ace jack offsuit or ace 10 offsuit here? I would suspect he's folding ace 10 offsuit, and ace jack is what's hard for him. He should fold ace jack, but I think that's how I would range him, being a little bit on tilt and like that. How about you guys?
I don't know. As it's tilted, short stacked, I think you're gonna get some ace 10 calls, stuff
Okay.
like that.
Gotcha.
Ace Jack will probably do it. You're definitely getting eights, nines,
Yeah,
tens,
Yeah,
and
all the
sevens,
coin
sixes,
flips.
fives. Yeah.
All the coin flips are there. And all the coin flips are there. And more, I dominate more of his aces than he dominates me with.
Yep.
So we're okay. When we see this call coming in, we're okay. We wished that he had ace 10 because instead he has 2 live cards.
That's insane.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that range is way
Yeah.
wider.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
tilt.
Yeah, he's tilted.
That is still
That's tilt.
one time dealer.
It doesn't matter. We won, but I was going to stop the video now and just go, see, we're fine. Yeah, we're just fine. He didn't.
Yeah, so now you made a good play because when that flop comes out, even if he's that tilted, he might just put it away.
Yeah.
Got all the money.
Yep. Although it's kind of hard for me when he does this, for me a call off here.
Yeah, oh, yeah. If he jams, you're not
Yeah.
loving it.
Yeah, I'm going to fold. Yeah. If I get to the turn, I'm okay. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we take it and he leaves.
I think he was a little bit angry.
I think he was.
You think? You think a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit.
Right. And so that tilt stuff, when you're playing live, you can see it. I mean, they don't hide their tilt. They
Oh, no.
curse out the dealer. They turn red. You can actually, I've seen people steam where you look at them and you go, I can see steam coming out your ears. It's incredible.
That's the other adjustment I've been making is like, and Horse talks about all the time is who gives a shit about your image? Just think about what happened to them.
Right.
Like if they just got bluffed off or they just lost a huge pot, not the time to bluff them.
Mhm.
Like, and I think too much about my image because I do run some bluffs and get caught and end up thinking, oh, I can't run a bluff now. And it's like, wait, that guy was probably on his phone playing slots while I was doing that. And he doesn't even know what the hell just happened.
Yeah. Another quote from the Horse and other people, not in poker, but in life. Everyone is the hero of their own movie.
Yep.
Something that I wanted to say to Phil Hellmuth.
Yeah, Phil's just a great guy.
Queen 8.
Did
So
you
there's-
watch the damn video?
Which video? Oh, oh yes. Oh, that was such a great video.
How good was that? That
You're
was
a joke. You're a joke. Come to my game, you'll be destroyed.
I'll take your money, Phil. You're a fish.
Marty,
Oh man,
Marty,
that's so good.
this guy a penalty, Marty?
Dude, he said, and then he says the best. My favorite line is when he says, "Whenever you think you're running over a great player," and he goes, "Where's the great player, Phil?" And that just set him off.
Yeah. And he says, I'm not going to play in the head. I'm not going to play in another tournament if this guy's in it. And the guy was good.
Yeah,
Fine.
person is
Yeah.
great. He tilted Phil. It was
Oh.
awesome.
Yeah. So happy that he won that match at the end. I do not, I think the Hungry Horse video about Phil is not entirely accurate or fair. I think it's good to watch, but I don't think it's entirely accurate. But I think that everything that he did, except for flipping him off, because if it's outside of the rules, I thought all the table talk was appropriate, especially against Phil. All right, so here we go. So we have Queen 8 offsuit. If we get limped to, this can raise sometimes. I don't know that it has to raise all the time, but I'm sure it can raise sometimes. And this time I decided not to. Let me see if I'm allowed to ever not raise Queen 8 offsuit to a limp.
Oh, you can absolutely just raise whenever, assuming this player
Yeah.
is, he's 60 big blinds. So or assuming he's kind of in the fishier category,
Yep.
you can raise any two that you play here.
Sure. All right. So let's find one that has, here we go. We'll just go, this has limps. This has a limping range from the small blind. Reset. Small blind limp. Queen 8 off. Yep, it can raise. It can call in GTO world. And in Mike world, you can just raise everything that's in the red. Everything that's got any red, you can raise. Plus a bunch of stuff that doesn't have red. Right? You can raise ace 8 if you want to.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have to balance. You don't have to be balanced here. I used to love the Jack 7 here. That was my favorite. And I'm still doing it. I just remember Jack 7 being the one. Also, Jack 7 against a raise was, in the old charts, was the one that I loved. It's still here, but not so much. In the old chart, this was like a major one right here in the old poker coaching charts. And I loved doing it. And it worked way too often. All right. So we made the choice this time to call. No particular reason. All right. So he checks. We have deuces in our range. He probably doesn't have very many deuces in his range. He has aces in his tricky range. We don't have very many aces, right? Does that feel accurate?
Yeah, I suppose. I wouldn't give him too many aces though, unless, like you said, he's like a tricky guy.
And it's tricky range, but we'll find out. We'll find out on the turn, which it is. 5. He checks. So he doesn't have an ace now. He just doesn't. So what should we, on that 5, when he doesn't have an ace, we should be thinking, well, we can bet and just win, right? Okay, I'm the only one here. So who thinks Queen 8 has showdown value?
Some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some.
I decided that it did. I was going to do a bet and win the pot in the normal way. And then I decided for this one time, given how I played it, that a queen has showdown value. And now the ace comes. He checks. We have the best hand all the time. If we bet and get called, we don't have the best hand. We're going to win this hand all the time. And if he has anything better, is he going to fold it? He could fold Queen 9 and Queen 10 to this. Probably not going to fold the king.
Maybe even a king X.
Maybe.
Fold a king, maybe. Maybe he folds a king.
It's weird though, because how big am I going to bet? Am I going to bet 20? I'm going to bet 1 or 2 or 3. It's not worth risking it for that. Yeah. I think just Queen High. Queen High is probably
Probably
the best hand.
Get a lot of his range.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, I would and I was in game. The reason I recorded this one was not because of the result, was because in game, as I was about to bet, I go, I have real showdown value. I can just win this hand at no risk. And I was happy about that. And this is my last hand. Oh, nope. I got two more, it looks like. All right. Ace king suited, we are of course going to ISO against two limpers. ISO size, hold on, don't say it. Dean, ISO size.
You limpers,
Yeah.
we go like 5.5.
5.5 is poker coaching standard and exploitatively.
6, 7,
No
8.
bigger. Yeah, yeah.
9.
They call too much.
They do.
So I go 6.3 instead
What's
of
the
5.
short stack?
And if we get no call, I wouldn't be showing this, but also that's the point, is we do get at this size, we don't get a call. We get the limp re-raise.
Hmm.
Feels gross.
Middle
It's
position
gross.
folds.
He folds.
Just jam.
Yep. He
So
folds.
I don't think you have to jam here in position. I think it's a jam out of position. But in position, I kind of like a call.
We won't be
could,
able to
yeah.
see it in solver,
No,
but
it's also a big size. I think I like call in position.
yeah, that's
Is
probably
that wrong?
No, I don't think that's wrong at all. I think that's a
I
good
think
idea.
out of position, it's fine to shove, but here,
Yeah.
when you're gonna have positional
And there's like
advantage,
40 big blinds in the middle, and the flop comes out like nothing, and then you just have to fold or what?
Well, you have to call the
well,
flop. You have to lose. You have to lose some money.
You know?
You,
I
you
mean,
don't fold
I
the
mean,
It's
flop.
like
that's,
lose. End
I
up
mean, you
you
have
go
other options. I mean,
5.
if you
Go-
miss
go
the
on,
flop, then there's a lot of playability with this hand. If you have a spade, you can call on the board. I don't think that,
Flop comes out 10 high, and they you freaking bet pot.
well, sometimes
Yeah,
you're
it
gonna
depends on
miss,
his
of
size.
course, but
It depends on his
Yeah.
size. Remember, he bets small a lot
no, I mean, you got options for
on a
this
four
hand.
bet, and this is kind of like a 4-bet pot. It's the size of a 4-bet pot.
It's more
Shoving
like
is fine. But I think I like calling in position.
Yeah,
He's repping aces and kings. It's lovely to be blocking them, but
yeah,
they don't, it's not like they don't exist.
right. No, it's not like they don't exist. Yeah,
Especially against early position.
I think this might have been a little bit of scared play. I mean, I'm not, when I say scared, I just mean making, scared of what am I going to do on the flop.
Yeah.
He does fold out things that I beat. He does fold out his ace queen and things that I dominate, which I wouldn't mind taking to the flop. I have positional advantage. He has aggressional advantage. So yeah, this is probably a better thing. Now, if I'm going to 4-bet it at all, the size is all in, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any option.
Yeah, we're not doing any, we're not going to 40 or 45 here.
Maybe with aces.
Yeah, that's only aces being played absolutely cute. And if people are smart, they see that and they get out of the way.
So my only question here is, am I right about position? And does that make as much of a difference as I think it does? I think it makes I'm of the opinion that it makes a big difference in that this is a call in position and a shove out of position.
It
Is
makes a
that
lot
off
less,
base?
it makes a lot less difference.
SPR is so big
What?
already, though. I
Yeah.
get it if the SPR could stay somewhat in your favor, like a bigger SPR.
Yeah, maybe deeper it makes sense. So SPR of 2, it'll be an SPR of 2 on the
Mhm.
flop. Yeah, okay. You have a good point.
All right.
If you did click it back, what's that, 34?
Yeah, and I'm not going to click it. I'm going to go to, if I go, I'm going to go to 40 or 50. And then, no, I'm not going to go to 40 or 50. I'm going to jam because that was it. Any click back is still that any reasonable click back
Right.
So I would have to put 14 in. That would be 34, which I wouldn't do, which is already a third of the pot. So yeah. My only raise size that I'm going to use here is jam, but I could call.
Now, what are we doing this with? Are we doing it with ace queen suited? Are we folding ace queen suited?
Ace queen suited, I think, is a call. Ace queen off.
Ace queen off, I'm folding
Fucking
immediately.
Ace queen off is, I think, is a fold. Ace queen suited is a call.
I almost feel like ace queen, like I feel like just folding everything here.
Yeah,
Except this hand and aces and kings, obviously. Like even queens, I guess suppose we gotta like
I think you just call with queens here.
Yeah.
Queens.
Call with queens, and then in my game against two players, I'm gonna just jam queens here. Against the two players who I think are better than me. I'm just gonna go, all right, you can be better than me, but I'm going to take away your skill edge. We're flipping, we're not flipping, whatever.
Why do you do that?
don't do
Are
this
you
on my
trying to
stream.
avoid a tough decision?
I am against two players. There are two players there who I'm avoiding. I made that decision a couple of months ago. I said, yeah, against these two players, this is how I'm going to play against them for a little while. So that it becomes less pleasant for them to play against me. It's a makes the hand easier, but it's more of a meta game thing against them, Brian.
Okay.
By meta, meaning long-term game.
I haven't run into good players yet at my room, so it's not something to deal with.
No, there are people in my room who are definitely better than me. Definitely. I don't think that there are any who are so much better than me that I can't even tell they're better than me, that I think they're worse than me because they're so much better. I don't even, who I don't even understand what it is they're doing. I don't think those exist in my room. I could be wrong.
That's what Honey Horse says. He says that he thinks that people think he's a fish for about like 5 hours of the session.
Yeah. Not anymore. They watch.
Yeah, nobody thinks that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, when half the table says, look at that sweet baby there.
Yeah, they're not anymore. They're not doing that. I say it now sometimes. Like, oh, look
Yes.
at that sweet baby there.
I do love the one he just did where he had 5 seconds for each decision. That was interesting. But I really what I liked about that so much was that he lost $4,000 and he still posted it.
Yeah.
That he just proudly posted. By the way, I lost, he was playing 5-5-5, so he lost four buy-ins.
Yeah, probably 4K.
Buy-ins? Well, no, $1,000 buy-in. He lost 4 buy-ins. But I really liked the one where he said, I'm going to tell them exactly what my thought process on every hand.
He still whooped them.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. And that idea of going, they're going to exploit you. Really? I'm telling them exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, I have been yet to be exploited at my room, and I see bet almost every flop
Yeah.
when I'm in position and check almost everything out of position, unless I have like a multi-way play for stacks hand where I don't want to generate fold equity.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to pile money in.
All right, here we go. So, yep, he just folded, and I think that is probably our last hand. Oh no, we have an ace. We have ace king offsuit coming up. This is the last hand.
Look at all these fancy animations and
that
new
yeah.
Apple OS.
Yes, my fancy Apple thing. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna get ace king offsuit as the last hand. We have a limp. Our note on him is obviously limp, 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 limp. We didn't take a note on Saucy Penguin that his limp re-raise is not always aces. We didn't take that note because there's no note there. There would be. Maybe because this is the very next hand.
Saucy Penguin.
Saucy Penguin. All right. So we raise, we get, we squeeze, we ISO. We get a call to the ISO, and we will be playing out of position. And we have 3 players. So we are in multi-way. So ace king is no longer so great. Ace king is terrible. He checks. What do you want to do?
Check.
How big you want to bet, Brian?
I said check.
Oh, you said check.
Check,
Okay.
check.
So of course I'm checking. There we go. We get a bet of 5. And
what does
fold.
Okay, so
That's important. If he calls, we fold, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Now you can make a call here.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah. We just we just haven't lost enough money to a guy who's in position.
So what
But-
is this range? This range is a lot of middle pairs. So this feels like sevens through tens, sevens, yeah, seven through tens.
Yep. Can he have a
His
set here?
range-
He certainly can have a set.
Right. He can have a set already. More
He has
six.
everything.
Not a lot of pocket threes or pocket fours, but pocket six is easy. Sevens to tens, sevens to jacks, maybe, yeah. 6, 7, 6, 5, sure. 4, 5. Those suited, of course, maybe. Ace 5? Ace 5?
Yeah.
Ace
there-
five
yeah,
suited
there's
here.
Ace
a
5,
lot
yeah.
of-
Yeah. All
a lot
right.
of
Combos.
stuff that you dominate here too.
Yep, I'm ahead of something. There we go.
Broadways. I mean,
Good call.
I notice you have a note on him and he cold call your ISO. So, I mean, we can assume that he's probably in the fishy camp again.
Could be. Although
So,
remember, my
which
notes, I take notes on things. I also take notes on just what is their opening size.
understood. But again, like he called your ISO in really
did.
early position. So,
That's pretty fishy.
like we know that the pairs are there, and we can start just putting in a bunch of like Broadway type stuff.
Right.
Just
We do
looking
not
at
have a gut shot
Pick
here.
up,
Don't
pick up
get
no
fooled into
equity.
thinking we have a gut shot.
Yeah, I was gonna say it too. No equity.
Yeah. Okay. So we check. If he bets, we're done with the hand now, right?
Depending on his
Depends on
size.
size.
Okay. If he bets one big blind, we're not done with the hand.
Uh,
Pretty checked.
okay, checked. You have the best hand.
I have the best hand.
So, what is his range here? He should be continuing with all the sevens, eights, nines, stuff like that, over pairs to the board on the turn. He could have he could have had like, uh, what does he have here? He doesn't have, I mean, it's just a stab. He has so much bullshit, but what is his shit that will call bet? Possibly a king queen that stabbed the flop.
Okay.
And king jack that stabbed a flop, stuff like that.
Right.
I just don't think he has a lot of low pairs because they shouldn't slow down unless it's like a 4 or a 3.
If he had
Some
7, 8, I could see him checking back with 7s, 8s, and 9s when the deuce comes, because I can have ace 5. I think I can see him checking back once there. So I'm not eliminating the 7s, 8s, and 9s, but I think that some of them continued to bet. Absolutely. So he's weighted towards garbage.
and the garbage we're not getting anything from. So let's target the strong stuff that picked up a king.
Right.
Or
Or
so
check
in
and let the
that
garbage, or check
sizing,
and let the garbage bluff. Those are the two options.
yeah, but people don't bet thinly enough for value on the river either. So in the situation when they have sevens, eights, nines, they're just gonna check back their showdown. They're probably not gonna bluff it here.
Okay.
So I think we should bet instead of check.
Okay. What size you want to bet?
So if we're going big to target a king, I think we can bet 25 to 35 to target a king. And now if we're targeting something like nines, tens, or jacks, I think we could still go on this. I think we could just go 20 or not nine, tens, jacks, like 7, 8, nines, tens. We can still get them to call
18 to
for
20.
25 big blinds. So I'd say
Okay.
we'd still go around 25 instead of taking the larger size. And I don't like the in-between size, but I think we can get a lot of his range to call here with the $25 big blind bet.
If I'm going for 7s, 8s, 9s, I'm going for 18 to 20. That's my belief. You believe 25. We're not that far in what we don't in what we disagree with. And by the way, if you then say, well, why don't you bluff 25 all this time? As I say, because I'm not sure of what I'm saying. I'm not sure of this, and different people play differently. But the
Yep.
sweet spot, I think the sweet spot for 7s, 8s, 9s is 18 to 20. I think the sweet spots for a king is 30 to 35.
Yeah.
And of
I
course,
don't think we
go
should target 7, 8, 9s. I think we should just target his kings that picked
30
up
or
a king
10.
on the river. Go
Yeah.
for 35, yeah.
There you go.
Because he just doesn't have a ton of 7, 8, 9 that he should stop spending on the turn.
Right. Gotcha. And I think that he doesn't have a lot of king because the king has to have, because it has to be a king that decided to bet to stab the flop, which it could have, but it had to. So I go 18.
Okay.
So I'm going for sevens, eights, nines,
Okay.
and just get a
He
fold.
folds. So yeah.
Okay. Right. That's what I got. All right.
I like that hand though. That's an interesting one.
Okay. And let's see. Here we go. Dean, if the hero of your own story, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Mike, I am the shadows. Dean, oh, you think your darkness is your ally, but you merely adopted the dark. It was born in it, molded by it.
I have a question then, Scotty, though. What would you bet on that river as a bluff? We say we pick a 10 or a jack comes off in the river and you're sitting there with ace king. You have to
Right.
assume you don't really. I mean, you could still think you have showdown there,
I
actually.
might have showdown there.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna bluff it, I'm gonna bluff 25 at least. Maybe my bluff is 25 to 30.
Targeting sevens, eights.
Yeah, targeting
Misdraws and
targeting a hand
17s.
like 6-7, a one pair hand,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
It's possible that I'm not going to bluff it because remember, it is a four-liner, right? Wasn't it? I might not bluff
Yeah,
it.
it was a four-liner,
Yeah.
but and honestly, you do have showdown there a decent amount of the time when he
Yeah.
checks back on the turn.
Yeah, the four-liner came. I don't think he has it. And so maybe my bluff doesn't have to be as big because of that. Yeah. I probably don't have to bluff as big.
Well, I would say the only reason to not bluff as big is because you're just trying to target draws to fold out, but you beat every draw.
Yeah.
Except
Right.
for,
Yeah.
except for
That's all.
sevens that had a gutter and
Yeah.
a
Yeah, I need
pair.
to get ace four and 6-7 to fold. Hands like that. And I think on this king that they're going to do it for, I think they're folding to, well, that was the thing is I was afraid that they weren't going to call 20. So yeah, I'm thinking they're going to fold that they might not call 20. So I'm going to push it up to 25 to 30. Yep. That's going to be my size, 25 to 30. I'm not.
Okay.
Okay. Mike, you got anything?
No.
All right. In that case, if nobody has any hands, I'm going to end a little early today because I have a reason to be somewhere else. Tomorrow is tomorrow, and tomorrow I am in. There's a chance that I will be 10 minutes late tomorrow, probably not. Let me see. And it's Microsoft Teams. So I'll open up the room no matter what. If for any reason I don't, Larry, give me a call and I will. But I
Okay.
expect I'm going to be ready. I have a con call at 8 a.m. and I assume it's going to be less than an hour.
Question about Black Friday. We want to have a session on Black Friday. I will do a session on Black Friday if anybody else will.
I'll
I
be there.
can. I can.
I should be able to attend that.
All right, Black Friday, we'll do it, and then
I won't have hands, or I probably won't have a ton of hands either tomorrow or Friday though.
But tomorrow we thought we would do we would do solver exercise, and the exercise was going to be play the hand two ways. What's the
Hungry
GTO,
horse.
what's
Yeah,
the GTO
okay.
solution and what's the hungry horse solution to the same
I like that.
thing.
So I'll be the hungry horse in-house.
Exactly. And I will and I will send a note to Sam, who hasn't been here in a little while, right now to let him know. Let me put a note to do that. Okay, so that's tomorrow. And then yeah, Friday, and I go to Vegas next week, and I am going to play in Vegas on. I stayed an extra day after my partner leaves in order to play in Vegas.
nice.
Nice.
I'll bring you home a Vegas story.
All right, we'll have
Sweet.
some Vegas hands. All right, guys, talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much, Scotty, for the Zoom session.
Thanks,
Yes,
everybody.
sir. See you
Bye.
guys tomorrow. Thank you.